T minus 30 seconds. T minus 20 seconds. Ten, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, 0.
Good.
You ready for do more in the future? Trap Talk podcasts?
Yes.
Man,
Only Trap Talk. Exclusive.
Yes,
Tell 'em.
exclusive. Oh,
So stop calling us.
Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the crop, gotta love it or not. I'm hot from the hop to the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with the rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with everybody, we do it. Everybody, we do it. Do it. Do it. Do it. Rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with rub the spot, get the club to pop. When I come up with
you're now tapped into the coolest reptile podcast in the world. New Breed on the Block series. It is Monday. I am pumped up. Ready to rock and roll. What is good, everybody? I'm your boy, MJ. If this is your first time tapping in, welcome. Do your boy a favor. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that notification bell. That way you're not slept on when I come out with 4 podcasts every week. Nobody else coming out with 4 shows a week. I am. Reptile shows every week on this channel. So if you subscribe, hit the notification bell, you'll catch every single show that I drop. I'm telling you, no matter who I bring to the channel, it's worthy watching. I'm telling you right now. So I do want to say shout out to all my subscribers out there. And then, like I said, first time tapping in, hit that subscribe button and then hit that notification bell. Especially hit that like button. That like button is so important, not only to me and the guests, but YouTube cares a lot about the like button. So much that they got rid of the dislike button. So hit that like button, man, especially if you like what you're hearing. It really, really means a lot. That like button goes far for us YouTubers. So I appreciate all the likes out there. Means a lot. But guys, I'm so excited for tonight. Shout out to all the early birds in the comments. I'll get to you guys in a second. But you guys know how we start this podcast off every single time for the freshest and bestest rodents delivered to your doorstep. That's going to be coldbloodedcafe.com. Day one pinks, mammoth rats, all sizes to your doorstep. $30 flat rate shipping. Shout to Steven, shout to Desiree, the ones killing it, leading the industry when it comes to frozen thawed rodents. Love the Cold Blooded Cafe team. Big, big things. Never, never disappoint. Shout out to John and Alex over at Sim Container. If you got eggs, put them inside of a Sim box and thank me later. Less steps needed when incubating eggs, which, I mean, shit, less steps the better, right? I mean, I don't want to have to stress about anything else. I'm already trying to stress out what's in the egg. You know, let's just less steps, you know. Shout out to Alex and John. If you guys are into monitors, I highly suggest you go follow Sim Container on Instagram and see exactly how they work with their monitors and whatnot. Very inspiring, very dreamy. And the two individuals, John and Alex, are dreamy individuals. So I love them. Shout out to Steven and Ashley over at Focus Cube Habitats. The future of enclosures are now here. Flex in Texas all day, every day. PVC built enclosures. Amazing. All custom. I love it. Cannot wait to get my new enclosures that are being built as we speak. But guys, go give them a follow on Instagram. Go see what they got going on. Nobody's doing it like Focus Cube, I can tell you right now. And they're Flex in Texas all day, every day. Texas better be in the building for this show. That's all I got to say. Freedom Breeder, Stainless steel racks, the #1 stainless steel racks in the United States. Shout out to Jesse, the entire Freedom Breeder crew, for leading the industry for I don't know how many years, since the 90s. That's pretty tough to say, man. But guys, if you got a Freedom Breeder rack, you already know the deal. You're already on that professional level of snake or rodent breeding, or you can put a lot in a fucking rack. But shout out to Jesse, shout out to the Freedom Breeder crew. Thank you so much for your sponsorship and your support. And then shout out to the big dog himself, killing it in the ball python game, making his own lanes, making his own branch in the entire fucking ball python tree that's just, been growing for years. But this man right here, Miguel Garcia, just doing his own thing. And if you follow him on YouTube, follow his journey, you'll know exactly what I'm talking about. This guy is breaking the mold so many different ways, has done things differently in this industry, and has created so many paths for different people to tap in with us. And that's what it's all about. Inspires the shit out of me. I'm telling you right now, guys, if you want to know, damn, MJ, why are you so fired up? Why do you get so pumped up? Because this dude's one of my best friends. That's why. And that's why I'm pumped up. You know what I mean? So I know I'm in a good place, and I know I could just be MJ. Kind of. I got to be, the more I blow up, the more I can't be really MJ. I'm starting to realize that, but day by day. Thank you, Miguel. Thank you, Always Evolving Python family, Tina, Jesse, Ace, Aubrey. You guys are right here in my heart. Love you guys, man. And then my big bro right here, Alan from Amazing Basins. It's cool to say I have a really good homie who breeds Basins, emerald tree boas, man. These are not, I'm telling you, it's a shoe-in species of snakes to have. This is not an everyday species. I mean, even monies can't even buy this sometimes. I'm telling you, you got to be tapped in. The best way to get tapped into these snakes is tapping into my man's Alan's Instagram, his Patreon page, all that stuff. If you out there have come across Basins and you want to learn more about them, or if you always knew about Basins and you're like, dude, how can I get plugged up? This is your man right here, man. I'm telling you right now, go to his page on Instagram, Amazing Basins. And then if you're really about it, go give him a follow or go support his Patreon page and see what it's all about. Go get yourself on that wait list, man. And it could possibly happen. You get yourself a Basin. I've yet to have myself a Basin. I already have a plan. Not worried about it. Not losing any sleep day by day. Basin, I'll tell you right now, a snake like this is something that I plan on having when I'm like, God forbid I'm still alive. But if I have like gray hair and shit like that, and I'm just don't want to work like too much, like, if I want to just dial down my workload, I'm just going to have some Basins and Bolins. But more importantly, Basins. That's my dream snake right here. Basins right here. If you want to know what MJ wants to work with when he's gray-headed, super old, it's the Basins and Bolins. So, Alan, keep killing it, man. You are doing stuff that a lot of people wish they can do, man, and you're a shoo-in. That's my boy, Alan from Amazing Basins. I would say his last name, but he has a locked-out African last name. I got to ask him again how he pronounces it, but it's super sick. But thank you, bro. I appreciate you. Appreciate everything, your vibe, your energy. Alan is one of the leaders in this industry, and he's slept on. Not too long, but he's slept on. So go check him out, my boy Alan. Blake Stewart Design. Man, I'm telling you, man, if you're super passionate about being in the reptile industry, I'm telling you right now, the one thing you need to sit back and look at is your logo. You need to sit back and look on how you're marketing yourself. And I can tell you right now, if you want to take shit to a Kabelka level, Garrett Hartle level, investor type level, this is who you want to go invest with. Your boy, Stewart Design. I'm telling you, this guy's changing the fucking game for this industry. He is working with select people. Like, you got to understand, he works with major corporations. So he's kind of taking a gamble, in a sense, working with reptile companies, because reptile companies aren't major corporations. But that being said, he does keep super dwarf for ticks. He's into the herps. He has a huge passion for reptiles. And he's here to help us change this industry. I'm telling you right now, go give him a check. Go check him out right now. SD Identity on Instagram, Stewart Design. Blake Stewart, man. If you guys want to know who was behind the Canova, the Justin Kabelka Reptiles Canova brand switch, that was him right here, Stewart Design. You're welcome. I just plugged you up. Go say what up. Don't waste his time, please. Like, don't ask him to help you create a logo for a sticker. That's not this guy. I'm telling you, right? Do not waste his time for that, whatever you do. This is like next level shit. Like, think about when Verizon went corporate in cell phones. Like, that's all right. Anyways, Blake Stewart, that's my boy. And then the two sickest shows by far, no offense to the other shows, but I mean, let's be real. These are the two most poppinest shows in the industry. The Reptile Super Show and the NARBC, with all due respect. I will say I will make it a point to go to other shows, but right now I'm not talking about any other shows but these two shows. These are the two shows that I personally attended. I personally made the craziest connections at, memories, all sorts of the amazing things that happened at these two shows. Reptile Super Show, the #1 show on the West Coast. Shout out to Rami. Thank you so much for your support. And then Bob Ashley and Brian Potter, NARBC. All I got to say is, wow. Arlington, I will not forget you. Amazing time in Arlington. I hope to God next time the USARK auction room is bigger, a little bit bigger. It was kind of fucked up, the way that was, but we made it happen. Phil made it happen. And I was able to get some people in, but whew, all I got to say is if you can make it to an NARBC, that's where you want to go. If you can make it to a Reptile Super Show, that's where you want to go. That's where you could catch me at. And yeah, thank you so much for these guys for sponsoring the trap and doing so much for the industry. Guys, I'm telling you right now, you got people are like, even Brian Potter and Bob Ashley are like, damn, MJ, you're coming to all the shows. And I'm able to right now, but B, like the connections, man, like I cannot get over the connections you make at each show. Even for somebody, you guys think I would maybe know everybody. No, I don't know everybody. There's still so many new people I continue to meet. Some people that choose not to put themselves out there, and I'm telling you, that's what it's all about. So get your ass to a show, any show. I would say really, shows are where they're at, period. Okay. So, but those two shows right there, those are my favorite. So thank you, Rami. Thank you, Brian Potter and Bob Ashley. Cannot wait for Tinley in a few weeks. Fuck. Tinley's going to be cracking. USARK, let's go. Let's come together. Let's fight, especially if you're in an area where shit's hitting the fan. Just because it's not hitting the fan in your area doesn't mean you should be lax and be like, oh, I'm not going to do shit. Or wait until you get caught by someone that you don't support USARK. Is that what you guys are waiting for? Like, do you guys want like a list to come out and I'm talking about you big people. Like, do you want to get put on blast and that you don't support USARK? I don't think so. So don't let that. I'm not saying I have a list or anything. I'm not saying Brian Potter emailed me a list of everyone who doesn't support USARK. I'm not saying I have that. But I'm just saying, like, dude, do you want? I'm not threatening nobody. I can't. I would promise. I'm just saying, just support USARK. It's our animals. Like, there's nobody else fucking supporting what we're doing except USARK when it comes to this legal stuff. Okay, that's all I'm saying. This is not a paid promo. USARK does not sponsor me. I am a huge believer of USARK. That's it. And I don't speak cap. So guys, do me a favor, especially if you're new into this. Go down below, read up. Like, as important as you should research the new snake you want to buy, you should be researching USARK. I swear to God, I'm not just kidding. Damn, see, even now my dogs are tripping. But guys, USARK, please help Phil, help all of us come together. And then if you're at a show, go to a USARK auction. If you want help getting in, text me. I'll get your ass in the auction somehow, and we'll hang out. We'll have a good time. Thank you for all the support. That's all I gotta say. If you support USARK, let's go. That's all I gotta say. Welcome. We're all together on this. All right. If you guys want to see what I'm working with, other than my podcast and my mouthpiece, because I'm more than a podcaster, guys. I swear to God, I got sick ass animals. Go check me out on Instagram, mjexoticscartal with an A, not an E, and then go follow the podcast's Instagram, Trap Talk with MJ Podcast. Shout out to my Twitch viewers. If you like to support this channel more than a subscription, any super chat that is thrown down. So if you have a question for the DnT family here and you want to ask them something, throw a super chat, and I donate that super chat to USARK. So that's a win-win right there. Okay. And then any other kind of donations, you can send that to PayPal, Exotics Cartel with an A, not an E. And then shout out to all my Patreon family members, man. Dude, I'm almost at that 100 mark. How many? I think we have 96 Patreon members. I did make a promise, 6 months ago, that I would cap it at 100. And I'm pretty sure I'm going to stick to that. But if you're out there looking to be a part of a sick community, and I got big dogs, medium dogs, and all sorts of dogs a part of this shit. And more importantly, we all fuck with each other. We all come together Sundays, Zoom sessions and whatnot. We have a Discord that we, as soon as you join the Patreon page, I hook you up to a link to the Discord, multiple channels. That's 24/7. Some of us just don't sleep. No, we're not meth heads. I'm just saying some of us just don't sleep. And, they just chop it up all the time. So if you're ever that person where you just can't sleep and you want to talk about snakes and stuff, dude, my Discord's where it's at. But more importantly, we're still accepting new Trap family members. So go down the link below, click on the Trap Talk Patreon family link, Patreon family link, and then join the family, man. Come fuck with us. Shout out to my Patreon members. Love you guys. You guys are my hot. But what is good with the early birds? Who is here in the building? Do I have some Retic people in the building? Deviant Glass, what is good? Trap Talk Patreon family member all day. 1776 Exotics, Trap Talk Patreon family member all day. Jason Holbrook, dude, you become a YouTube member? Damn, this fool's one of my YouTube members now. And he's a Trap Talk Patreon family member. And he gets a shirt that hasn't got to him yet. But hey, listen, Jay, I appreciate you, dog. Thank you so much. Mason, what is good? Thanks for tapping in, player. Trap Talk Patreon fan member all day. Dom 702 Serpents, what is good, player? Trap Talk Patreon family member all day. Wise Guys, what is good, player? Thanks for tapping in. The homie Anthony, Goodfellas, what is good? Thanks for tapping in. Eric's Morph Factory, what is good? Thanks for Aiden. Damn, little young trapper, homie. The youngest trapper in the family right here. Young AB, 15 years old, little youngster, little out of control, if you want to ask me. But hey, it's my boy right here, little AB in the building. Thanks for being here. Did you do all your homework? Ryan, what is good? Trap Talk Patreon fan member all day. By the way, little AB, yeah, I already said that. Patreon fan member all day. Jacob, what is good? Trap Talk Patreon fan member all day. Kurt, what up, Kurt? Big homie, Trap Talk Patreon fan member all day. Heathen, what is good? Damn, all these Trap Talk Patreon family members. What, dude, a bunch of family members in the building. That's just how it always is, though, to be honest. What's up, Chantel? PNW in the building. Pacific Rim Serpents. Tyler King, what the fuck is up, my trapper? Tyler King in the building. Trap Talk Patreon family member all day. Sean, Sound Serpents. Another Trap Talk Patreon family member. The General in the building. What's up, General? Good talk today we had. Excited for this guy. Big plans. Oh, here's a Retic guy. Hell yeah. Big Retic guy in the building. JK Reptiles. What is good, player? Go follow my boy JK. This is another guy in the Retic game who I don't mind having on this show someday for sure. I'm very, very picky. If you work with big snakes, it's unlikely you'll be on this show unless I really fuck with you. That's all I got to say. This guy's one of them. So Jake, we'll be talking soon. He's from Chicago. And I'll definitely be seeing you at Tinley, bro. This time you're buying me a drink though, at the bar. I think I bought you like 2 drinks, and all I got was a couple hugs. No, you're buying me a drink next time. Hey, I only drink wine, though, the expensive shit, just so you know. Shout out to my boy, Jake. Give him a follow. Let's see. Who else is here? Lucas, another fucking sick-ass Retic homie right here. The homie Lucas in the building who I actually met you at Arlington, right, Lucas? I think that was it. What is good? Thanks for tapping in, Lucas. Arthiz, what is good? Thiz is what it is. My homie Arthiz in the building. Matthew Summers, Trap Talk travel manager right here. Every remote podcast I do, I got my boy Matthew Summers. It's my boy right here. The homie Patrick, what is good, Patrick? Trap Talk Patreon family member all day. Damn, we got a ball python heavy hitter in the building. Levance, or is this Wesley? Either way, straight fire reptiles in the building. I love seeing that, bro. That's what I'm talking about. Let's see. Aurora Exotics. What's up, homegirl? Trap Talk Patreon family member all day. Spooky Tuesdays. What is good? Trap Talk Patreon member all day. No, wait. Are you Trap Talk Patreon member? No, I think I'm just getting too comfortable saying that. Nate, what is up? Damn, another Retic homie in the building. All right, see, there's some Retic hitters in the house. I like seeing this. Hannah Banana, what is good, homegirl? Trap Talk Patreon family member all day. Genomic Labs, what is good, Jason? Thanks for tapping in, player. And then we have Lily, Trap Talk Patreon family member all day. Trey Smith, do you do R&B? I feel like Trey. Oh, that's Trey Songs. My bad. I'm thinking of somebody else. I thought I was tripping out. I was like, damn, we have Trey Songs in here. Trey Smith. Dude, wow, another big Retic guy. I've heard good things about this guy. Chris McIver. I'm probably saying that right. I'm guaranteed Dax and Taylor know exactly who this is. I'll talk about you in a minute, but I heard nothing but good things about this guy as well. All right, I'm going to end it on this player because I could say I feel like there's a lot of good Retic keepers in the house, and this is awesome. This is the kind of episode I wanted because at the end of the day, a lot of you who've been following me understand that I'm kind of salty about the Retics, the mainlands. You know, I had to get rid of a bunch of them. But that's not, anyone else's fault who's keeping them right. I am inspired by people who are keeping Retics right. So without further ado, the couple that I have tapping in with us now are from Texas, where I feel like if you are going to keep Retics, I hope it's in Texas. That's one state where Retics are going strong. But either way, these two are I feel like their passion is shared upon each other. They're excited to be anything that's involved with this reptile shit. But anyways, here they are. They're tapping in. We have Dax and Taylor from DnT Retics. What is good, my family?
What's up? Glad to be here.
Thanks for taking. I'm sorry I took forever.
It's all good, bro. It's all good.
Dude, what is good, guys? Thanks for tapping in. I appreciate you guys being a part of this. It means a lot.
No problem.
How's everything on your guys' end? What's new? How's everything?
Just covering from NARBC Arlington, even though it's the closest one to home, it is literally the most tiring show we do. Exhausting show we do.
I mean, dude, you guys, I listen, the reason why I could never see myself vending at that point where what you guys do is because the fact that I'm all over the place, just imagine the energy that it takes just to vend at your own booth and to try to multitask. Like, you know, as much as you'd probably like to go do your thing and go mingle, you can't. Like, you have so much responsibility at that booth. And I feel like if you're not taking that serious, then you're kind of like, why even vend if you're not going to really hold shit down and be about it? So, dude, kudos to you guys. I see you guys doing shows, and I feel like that's the like excitement of your guys' passion every time you guys, and you gotta understand, you're building a community every time you're going to these shows, and I see that, and it's exciting for you guys. I love it. I love that.
That's how we work. That's how we work. We work together. It's if she's gonna leave the table, I'm there, and I know she can handle the table when I leave. So it's just, you know, we can always mingle if we need to and when we need to. So it's just easier that way. So it's nice to be able to have that camaraderie and work together. So, and we support each other that way. So,
all right. So correct me if I'm wrong, but Dax, you kind of contacted me a while ago. You know, you told me how much you like the podcast, but that was before you started a DnT Retic page, right? Like, I mean, how long ago did this all started up? Not too long ago, right?
Not even a year ago.
Not even a year ago.
So let's take this back to not even a year ago. Like, how did all this start?
All right. Well, I met her. We started dating. And at this time, I was in my apartment, and I had 2 ball pythons, tegu, and that's all I had. Really.
You had motley
and a boa constrictor.
Okay.
So, we were just sitting around one day, and I was like, you know what? I want another animal. You know, I wanted another snake. Again, living in an apartment, you could only shoot for ball pythons. So we wound up going to NARBC together and roaming around. Now, the funny part is, I told her, I said, I'll let you pick this snake, and I'll give you a budget of $800. So we went walking around, looking all over the place, and nothing caught our eye. Nothing, absolutely nothing. We literally walked around like twice. Nothing caught our eye. So like the last time, right before we left, we missed one snake that was like hidden, not even hidden, but just in a small display that, you know, wasn't gigantic like Bob Clark's or anything like that. She walks by and she goes, I want that. And I'm like, it's a retic. You ain't fucking good. And she's like, I don't care. I want it. And I'm like, do you realize these things get big? And she's like, I don't care. I want it. So I'm like, we need to talk about this. So we literally walked around again. We were going over the options, what we could do, everything else. So I said, here's a problem. I said, it's $900. You have an $800 budget. So she goes, here's $500. I want an enclosure and the snake. So I said, yeah, she called my bluff, dude.
Well, he told me, here's the catch. He told me I could get any snake that I wanted. He didn't specify it had to be a certain gene or a ball python or anything like that. And so I saw our Motley Golden Child, and I saw the iridescence on him, and I was like, holy shit, I want that snake. And so that was it.
Yeah, so we wound up literally, I gave in, I couldn't argue, and wound up going to Brace Exotics over with Byron, and just told him I need and he even questioned, he's like, what are you getting? I'm like, a retic, and he started laughing. So, you know, we just, you know, I already know all the information about him. I knew all about him. It's, you know, I always wanted one, just I never had the room. So she was like, we can do it. And I said, okay, if we can do it, let's find the room for it. You know, so we wound up eventually finding a room for it. And then from there, it just grew. I mean, a couple of weeks later, we had bought another one, literally another couple of weeks, we had bought another one. So it just grew instantly.
Well, listen, at the end, I mean, I don't need to explain this to you guys because you're living it, but you guys know that there's certain reptiles out there where you just can't have one. It's impossible to just get one of something that is so amazing and beautiful, especially when you know you could get more of it. You know what I mean? And unfortunate, but fortunately, Retics are that one species where I highly doubt, if you're smart and very controllable, you'll have one. But dude, let's be real. The Retics are so amazing. I'm talking about like all around predator, all around snake as a fucking whole. the Retic is almost king. I feel like the Retic is so amazingly like, it's just insane what a Retic can do, and how it's hard to kill a Retic, and how indestructible they are, and all this other stuff. And they are as stupid as they can be sometimes. They are very smart too. You know what I mean? And it's like, I mean, I think, you know, people say snakes have personalities, but in Retics, you could totally tell the personality difference. Like they let you know, the heavy breathers, the body checkers, the simple, you know what I mean? Like there's just so many different types of Retics. And, I don't know, man. Like I gotta say, like for two of you to be down for it, I feel like that's where you guys are going in the right place, because, this isn't, I feel like working with big snakes like this, you shouldn't be by yourself. Like you need to have somebody else around. Like it's just a smart thing to do, because, I don't know, you have people that say they rather get bit than you have some people out there who argue saying they rather get bit by a rattlesnake than get bit by a Retic. You know what I mean? And people think the other way around too, but all I'm saying is a Retic is something you just don't want to have a room full working by yourself. Like that's, even a big guy like you, Dax, even a guy like me, like even guys like us should not be handling these by ourselves. So when I had about 12 of them, and they were all over 10 feet, I just, that's when I knew. I was like, damn, I have to get my wife involved. And my wife, God bless her, but she didn't see any of the psychotic Retic stuff that I went through. Luckily I had, moved them to the right people after that, but it's just like, you got to really, Retic people are different. Like you got to have a true passion to want to work with these animals, because an animal this big will put you through the ringer. Like it really will. And I'm sure you guys know about that.
Yeah, I mean, it's a workout, literally. Anything over 12 foot, I mean, even at 10 foot, she's always near me.
Yeah.
And anything over 12 foot, she's helping me out, because, I mean, it's a workout, dude. I'm sweating, I'm breathing heavy when I'm done pulling them out of the enclosures or whatever, even just to pull them out and play with them and leave them on the floor and try to put them back in. Dude, it's like a workout, man. So, yeah, I can. And people are always like, oh, you're a big guy, you can handle it, Maybe I can, and I look at people sometimes, and I'm like, you can't.
That's our house rule. Is anything over 10 feet, like 10 feet and above, you have to have someone there with you.
Yeah.
So, like even with our males that are on the smaller end, girth-wise of 10 feet, we still won't do it.
Yeah, we still won't handle them without each other.
So let me ask you guys this. Obviously, Taylor, I have a feeling like you're very like cautious. Like I could be wrong. Maybe it's Dax more cautious, but there's one of you who's like on top of the other, where like, hey, be careful, or like, and that's okay. I figured. So let's talk about some of the practices that you guys discovered in the beginning that was important to do when being safe on handling big snakes. Like, what are some of your protocols when it comes to like working with or pulling out a big animal for you guys?
A lot of hook training.
Right.
Training is definitely one of the most important. Feeling them out, like just like you said, Retics have such personalities. If there's some heavy breathing and body whipping going on, I'm gonna leave you alone. Like,
right.
I'm not gonna bother you.
Even will do that. That was one thing I was smart enough to realize. I'm like, I'm just gonna fucking leave you alone. Like, if something that pissed off, why am I gonna mess with it? And the only time I ever got caught slipping is when I was assisting with the stuck shed. But my dumbass, like, here's the thing, like, there's no room for mistakes with these big Retics, because I remember, like, I have OCD with stuck shed. Like, I like some people can just wait to take it off, but if I see it, like, especially if it's an eye cap, I stop everything I'm doing and I pull the snake out and I fucking.
She's the same way, but she waits till late home.
Because but like, okay, but Taylor, it's satisfying when you get it off. Like, that's the thing. When it's off, you're like, it's like, not to be
how beautiful.
like, not to be gross, but I was a huge scab picker. Like, I would pick my scabs as a kid and like just love seeing like my skin back. And so I do that with the snakes, like on the skin, right? So with that being said, there was one time where I just got done feeding the whole room, right? And I had my one male who was like acting different. Like I got him as an adult, and then as soon as my other female started getting bigger, he started acting different. He started smelling things. So, he stopped eating like he was a good eater. And then one week he didn't want to eat. And I was like, that's weird. And then he went into shed, and then he had a really horrible shed, and I got done feeding everything. And I was like, I was like, well, I have time. Let me take him out. Let me soak him. I better soak him, you know? So I got him out. I soaked him. I got him in the tub, you know, and I did my thing. Like I kind of finished doing my thing in the room. 20 minutes later, I go to like kind of start taking the shit off of him. And clearly, like I forgot to wash my hands or something. Like there was still rats smell on my hands where I literally just got the lid. I just opened it. And it was like, soon as that lid lifted up, he came out and grabbed my hand. Like it was like, and like completely wrapped my whole hand. And, you know, luckily I didn't freak out. Like I've watched Garrett Hartle videos. Like I've seen where you just sit there. Like there's no point to just fucking lose your shit.
Because the worst thing to do.
Yeah, the more you tense up, dude, you're not going to overpower that snake. Yeah. So, but even that being said, like it wrapped my hand and I got it off, and dude, I could not flex my pinky for like, I could not like do this for probably like 6 months. That one bite, which could have been a lot worse, you know what I mean? Was very humbling, dude. Like I was like, holy shit. And you understand that same snake a year before that gave my dad 17 stitches.
Holy shit.
Yeah. Yeah. And you know, my dad was somebody who was kind of around me a lot during my up and coming, and like he was around to help me feed the snakes, and he loved seeing the big snakes. And one time I was getting ready for something and I had to finish feeding some big snakes, and he was over helping me. He's like, hey, do you want me to feed anything? I'm like, yeah. I was like, you know, he's like, he wanted to feed the big snake. I was like, all right, feed him, but just throw the rat in there. I was like, all you do is throw the rat in there. Don't do anything else. This is back when I fed live. You know, I was very green and like, you know, I was just so brand new as shit. So, and the rats were big, dude. So, and I told him to feed him too. So my dad threw one in there. He wrapped it, took it down. And then for whatever reason, my dad got the second one that was still in the box. And instead of throwing that rat in there, he put the box in the enclosure and like went like this to like, and then boom, my fucking dude, you know, his name was Zach. Zach got his hand and my dad just went like immediately. It was a fucking Stephen King movie, bro. Like my dad was like, Michael. And I was like, and I was in the shower, like, what? And like, you know, I know my dad's yell, like it was a kind of yell where like I've gotten in trouble or something. Like I haven't heard my dad scream like this in a long time. So my stomach turned and I was like, something bad happened. So I come out and, you know, my bathroom, as soon as you walk out, there's like a wall to the kitchen and all you see is a handprint of blood on the fucking, and I'm like, what the fuck? And this fool grabs the whole paper towel roll, like doesn't even grab a sheet. He just grabs the roll. He starts batting his hands and his hands are just like, and I'm just like, I kind of get mad at him. Like, I'm almost like, what the fuck? Like, I was like, I gave you simple instructions. Like, and then I'm like, I was like, where's the snake? Like, I didn't know where the snake was. And he's like, fuck the snake. Look at my hand. I'm like, oh my God. And my dad peeled out. Like, he was so mad. And like, bro, like he went to the hospital and he's like, you know, he called me the next day. He's like, it's not the snake's fault, man. I'm like, yeah, I know it's not the snake's fault. But I was like, are you okay? But like, dude, that was a very sketchy situation. You know what I mean? And
yeah, they're very quick, man. You don't realize how quick they are. As big as they are, but you don't realize how quick they are, especially on a food response. It's like 10 times quicker than just a normal get away from me kind of, you know, not even a no bite, you know, it's but like food response is ridiculously fast and powerful.
But those kind of mistakes happen numerous times in the ball python game and in the green tree python game. The thing is, you can walk away with it, no problem. Like you're not going to be like shocked. Like, bro, I was like, I had to sit down and like take it was intense having to deal with a kind of wildlife situation like that. You know what I mean? And I don't, especially when it's my own blood, I don't like to see my own blood. There's something about seeing my own blood that just, especially when you see the white meat. Like, have you ever cut yourself open? Like, dude, the white meat, like you know, you see the like before the blood rushes out, you just see that white meat, and you're like, oh, this is not good. This is gonna be bad. And then, oh, dude,
we had the same thing. I just got tagged like, was it 3 weeks ago?
Yeah, he didn't listen to me.
Nice. Yeah, she didn't listen. I didn't listen. Everybody was breeding in the house, and one of my males who he would never attack. He would never open his mouth. He would never do anything. The nicest one probably in the collection. I go to open his enclosure, and she's like, hook him, please, because everybody's acting funny. So I'm like, he's fine. Next thing I know, I put my hand near their door and boop, 10 foot is wrapped around my arm. And I'm just like,
but he released right away.
But he kind of released right away. So it was just more like a, another breeding, get away from me kind of thing. So it wasn't that bad, but I mean,
you felt it yesterday. You still felt it.
Oh yeah, the next day. I mean, I had a lump. He must have hit a vein, a lump like this on my head. But it was, it wasn't as bad as I thought it would be. But it's the initial shock. But you still don't want to get bit. It doesn't make a difference.
So let's kind of talk a little bit about the DnT program as far as obviously this turned into something you guys would have never expected. I mean, you go walk around a show, you see a snake that is an impulse, like, I like what this looks like. And then obviously there was research after this purchase. I'm sure like you guys fucking did a little bit of digging and figured out about the breeding game. What did you guys stumble across? Was it Instagram? Was it a YouTube channel? Like, what was the first part of content you guys started watching?
It was probably YouTube. I mean, I already had been in the reptile world when I was younger. Nice. I wasn't allowed to have anything, no lizards, no snakes. I grew up in a Puerto Rican family, and they didn't want anything like that. So they were, but it was something I dreamed. It was something I dreamed about. So
right.
We had a bunch of chickens, but but they didn't want any lizards or snakes. But I always loved the lizards and snakes, so I would always read up on them, just to read up on them and just to know stuff. Because and that's how it works with DnT. Once I get involved in something, it's 100% head on. I don't stop. I'm going to take everything down, and I need to do what I have to do to get it done correctly. So, I had some history in reading and going over everything. So when we first got our Retics, a bunch of them, we weren't really looking to breed. We were just going to do pets. So then eventually one day she looked at me and I looked at her, and we were like, what do you think about breeding? And I was like, okay, so let's start asking around. So we didn't know much about breeding at all or anything like that, any of the husbandry about breeding. So we got involved with Amanda and Gavin over at In Your Face Exotics. Gavin Bowe and Amanda Bowe, phenomenal people. I mean, this wouldn't be here today if it wasn't for them. Everybody else has fallen in place with the DnT thing, but if it wasn't for them, we would not be here. They literally, Amanda pretty much put everything on the table on how everything works. I mean, she literally has spent hours with me on the phone, teaching me things that I might not have known, because some stuff I would know, and most of the stuff as far as breeding goes, I wouldn't know. So she literally sat there and went over everything with us. So that's our main contribution was from In Your Face as far as learning, breeding, and stuff like that. So then we decided to go from there.
Now, when it came to like you guys looking for specific retics, or was it all visual with you guys? Like, how are you guys? I mean, after that initial retic purchase, how are you guys looking at your following retic purchases? Like, what was it like? What was the next step after that?
So after our first initial, we bought our second from Amanda and Gavin Bowe at In Your Face Exotics, and she was complete opposite of what our first purchase was. And I was like, man, I really like this one. And she started teaching me about the different morphs and the combinations. I started doing a lot of research, and then every snake that we had purchased for pets, every snake is compatible with each male and female, so that we have breeding combinations down the road instead of just like buying random impulse buys, which he did. He bought a couple of impulse buys, of course.
Yeah, but most of our adults are albino strong. I love albino stuff. She loves the albino stuff. Her two favorite animals are both albinos, besides Loki, which is the Motley GC. But as far as the breeding goes, and what we wanted to see was, I've always liked the albino stuff. It was always beautiful coloring, the patterning, whatever. It was just so nice.
Whether it's an albino combo with an orange grower with the Indo Caramel, or the Mochino with the Mocha, any type of albino, just getting those vibrant colors and the contrast for me is what I love.
What's crazy to think is that, like, Oh, I think there's an echo. Hold on. Okay, I thought I heard an echo. But anyway, what's crazy to think is that like a Retic, right? Like a Mochino, like a real nice high quality Mochino slaps harder than like any $7,000, $8,000, $10,000 ball python will. Like the way how beautiful these morphs look like in a Retic is unbelievable. And it's just sucks. The thing that makes me hurt the most is like the value of them, like where they were once appreciated and not that they're not appreciated, but the value of them was so high. And now it's like completely tanked. So, I mean, let me ask you this. When it comes to like you guys breeding babies and stuff like that, are you guys worried or concerned about how you're going to move the productions or anything like that?
Well, that's another thing that we at DnT do. We're I like doing collabs this way, or doing breeder loans where
right.
I split the clutch with somebody else. This way, I'm not. For instance, I have a Motley Tiger Sunfire. This way, I'm not so tiger strong in my 40 eggs that I got to put at a table. Everything's tiger. This way I could split the clutch with someone else, and they could take half. I take half. So it diversifies our clutches more and more.
Hey guys, real quick, if you're just now tapping in, what is good? Thank you. Don't forget to hit that like button for my DnT family. It really means a lot. So please do that. Thank you so much for tapping in. So with that being said, how about this? Your guys' main projects are all mainlands, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now, are any of those kind of like locality mainlands that you're kind of working on? Like, are there specific like localities or everything about like the morphs right now for you guys?
Everything's about the morphs right now, but we're gonna start getting a couple of super dwarf male and females into the running. It's a game changer in the whole size of the retic sales, but it's also available the availability for someone who wants such a pretty snake that they can have that at home in a 5x2 or a 6x2 or something like that, as compared to having an 8x2 or 8x3 or 10x2, whatever. But we're gonna start putting in super dwarfs inside into our collection.
So that being said, I mean, how are you guys? Because you have ones you're raising up and you have adults, right? You have a little bit of both. What's your total snake count?
Pet-wise or including babies?
Altogether, I want to know what's the complete total like.
Altogether, we have 73 right now.
73.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, perfect. And how many adults out of those 73?
How many what?
How many adults?
36.
Wow. Damn. So, I mean, let me ask you this. How are you guys working your schedule as far as like your cleaning and stuff like that? I mean, I'm sure it's kind of just like every day, right? Because it's random as far as when you guys have messes to clean up, or how are you guys really implementing like your guys' scheduling to maintain 30 adult retics?
So we do a lot of maintenance cleaning. So we don't let anything sit. If I see pee and urate, I'm getting it out. Like I can't let it sit because my OCD will drive me insane. I can't.
That's how I am.
I can't. Like everything's got to be clean and organized. The water dishes have to be in a corner at a certain angle. The plant's got to be over here. Like everything's got to be in order. So maintenance cleaning for us is like a huge game changer. We do the water bowls and, wetting down and everything every weekend. The babies, he can usually get done throughout the week because he gets off work a lot earlier than I do. So he can just get done with the babies throughout the week, and then I'll come upstairs and take care of any of the big ones that need be. But it's a lot of maintenance cleaning so that we're not having that 3 to 4 hour long cleaning session with everything.
Yeah, and you also got to remember too, don't think it's 30 full adults. A lot of them, since you have to remember we've been here less than a year, most of our up and coming breeding animals are still yearlings. So they're still kind of small. Subadults, so they're kind of small. But as far as full size retics, we got about six or seven. Yeah,
that's still a lot. I'm telling you right now, man. Like, are you, as much as I was like sad as my, I went from 12 to 8, from 8 to 6, from 6 to 4, and then my final 2. And as they were going down, I was getting sad. But then I was like, here's the thing with my Retics. This is what they're notorious for. I systematic try to do my chores, right? But Retics, there's nothing systematic. They don't give a fuck. They shit whenever they want. And like I literally work, like I'll work to the point where like, you know, I have my wife ask me, how much longer do you have? Because we got to go, you know, and I'll be like, I just need this much more time. And then sure enough, when I'm done, there's a
pile of shit.
or you hear the fucking water dish somehow knock over and you're like, what the fuck? You know, and then you're, you know, like, and here's my thing, like I was notorious. This is why like I'm somebody who like would have something happen to me, and instead of learning from that mistake, I would think, okay, it's probably not going to do that again. What are the chances of it like doing that? Sure enough, it's always going to do it again. And I had snakes that no matter what kind of water dish you put in there, it found a way to knock it over. And and like I just am not one to just say, all right, I'll see you fucking tomorrow and just sit. I can't. Like my mind would be fucking with me. I'll be like, I'd be, you know, all like fidgety and antsy with my wife, and then she's gonna be like, yo, what's wrong with you? So
that's how she is. She gets it. I mean, literally, she'll walk by and then walk away, and I'm like,
and then there's,
I don't ask.
Like you said, like you clean it. So the one that tagged him about 3 weeks ago is notorious for me deep cleaning, and 48 to 72 hours later, he has a confetti party. He fucking sheds everywhere, and it never fails. So if I can catch it in time, even if it's like 11:30 or midnight, he caught me like a couple times, and I caught him starting to shed. I will sit there and help him shed so that I don't have to clean up a confetti party. He's like, what are you doing? It's midnight. I was like, I'm helping Wolverine shed. Leave me alone.
Now, let me guys ask you this. Well, I mean, I'm sure this is something you guys are probably figuring out right now, or maybe you guys haven't done it, but when you guys take off, who watches your collection?
We have a couple people that help us out that live pretty close by here in the Dallas area, good friends of ours. And then any watering for like the yearlings or subadults that have to be done, my kids are wonderful at helping out with watering. But the big ones, anything over 4 or 5 feet, they don't touch, and we just wait till we get back.
Yeah, either we get back, or I have a friend of mine, Drew, who works at DFW Reptarium, and he's always offered if we ever needed help. And then Matt Edmonds, Crazy Matt, he offers all the time as well. He just came from Washington. He just moved to Dallas about maybe 2 or 3 months ago, and he's always offering to help out. So we'll use him one day whenever we need to go on vacation. So.
Respect. I mean, here's the thing with me, man. Like, I couldn't even go at least 5 days, at least like 5 days at the most. If I'm having the time of my life, once day 5 happens, I am panicking and I want to get home. You know what I mean? And especially when I had big snakes, because no matter who was watching my collection, I told them, don't fuck with these snakes. Just leave them alone, please, because I just don't want anything to happen, you know? So like literally, those would be, it's unfortunate, but when I, you know, would take off for longer than 5 days or something, you know, the big snakes would be the ones I would have to come back to neglected. Like they weren't fucked with. And, you know, let me ask you, I mean, let me tell you this about a fucking room full of Retics that have not been touched in a week. It is the most horrendous smell.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah.
It smacks you in the back of your forehead. Wait, do you have?
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
Dude, and I'm like, oh, and then you just feel like, is something dead? And you just see these fucking lumps of shits that are like, you know, just even dried up and then shit on top of the dried shit. And it's like, oh my God, bro. Like,
it's like that sometimes. Sometimes it gets bad. I don't know why, but the babies, they're on like a schedule. So they pee all at one time, and they all go to the bathroom at one time, and if you miss that one time, that they either pee or poop, and they do it on top of it, it's you walk down the stairs and you're like, oh, it's just like holy cow. Yeah, it's terrible.
And then we have our one big girl. She loves to piss and shit in her water bowl. I mean, it's fantastic because it's easy to clean up, but the smell is horrendous. Like. Right. I feel like something had died in there, and I'm like, he's at work and he thinks it's hilarious when I call him and I'm like, I'm about to throw up. Like I'm gagging over the toilet as I'm dumping the shit and I'm about to throw up.
Right. You know, it's funny. Like, I feel like there's certain snakes out there who know that they could shit in the water and they prefer it that way. I mean, like almost any snake, like I like, you know, and even my beaded lizards. I have this one lizard who literally will just come up, put half his ass in the fucking thing and just sit there. I'll come back and there's just a huge log waiting for me. And, you know, and like, honestly, I mean, I almost prefer if a retic would shit in its water. Cause I mean, at least I could just, everything's in the dish and I could just scrub the dish out. You know what I mean? But then there was even times where I had plastic, like, you know, those plastic dog dishes where like, dude, that shit got seeped in after a while. Like it just became disgusting. And I'm like, I even scrubbing it with the Dawn soap and shit, you can still see the shit embedded in the plastic. And I'm like, let me throw this away. Like, what the fuck, you know?
It's pungent. It's definitely pungent. I'll tell you that.
But I will tell you this though, okay? As much as I did have OCD, I did realize and stopped tripping about like the calcium shit poos being stuck in the corner. Like, I don't think any retic enclosure or any snake enclosure needs to be 110% sanitized because they're not used to shit. They're not used to anything being clean in the wild whatsoever. And I feel like, especially with breeding, you know what I mean? If you really want a male to get excited and you want a male to feel like, you know, he's actually in the wild environment and about to hit up Pound Town, well, then, you know, those urates I feel like are important. You know what I mean? And, but you know, the whole feces on the walls and the brown stuff painted, I can't do that. I'm just like, that's, and then on the glass, the glass is what the glass. Especially, okay, how about this? How about when they smear shit on the glass, but from like 2 days ago and it's dried and you're like, God. And you're
that they did that. Was it
Rogue? Scraping it off.
Was it Rogue that?
Yeah,
she like does that. Painted her entire glass. Like you can see behind us, they have the 2 glass doors that go side to side.
Right.
Well, one of ours had literally painted and then like smudged shit in between the 2 doors.
Yeah, it was just bad.
Dude, they will shove shit in crevices where you'd be like, how?
You never thought it was possible.
Right. No. Hey, listen, I don't know if you guys heard me earlier. Respect to the Texas keepers, retic keepers in the building. You have some heavy hitters in the building right now. And with that being said, I want to shout out the homie Sean from the Herp Show. Because listen, I was talking a big game, and it's a big game backed up with Super Show and NARBC, but I will say there's a lot of talk about these Herp shows. And shout out to my boy Sean, who's consistently pumping out these Herp shows. I hear nothing but great things about these Herp shows. Anyone who vends at these Herp shows are pumped up to be a part of this Herp family, and you guys are a part of this Herp family. Am I right?
Yeah.
We are sponsors. We started doing their shows were the first shows that we started doing with Sean and Lori, and we just became super close with them. I can never say enough amazing things about them. They're always supportive. They're always on top of every show. The way that they organize everything is on point. There's never anything that goes wrong with these shows. And they're phenomenal. They make it fun. They make it energetic. They make you feel like you're with that reptile family, and everyone is family. It's fantastic.
Yeah, we love doing their shows. I mean, Conroe's an amazing show. It's a bigger show. We love doing that one. That's our favorite one to do. But yeah, I mean, it's ridiculous how smooth their shows run. I mean, they have time to come and hang out, and they're always walking around talking to everybody. It's you know, you never see them in a panic, which is a good thing when you don't see the people who are running the shows going crazy trying to figure out what's going on. You never see them in a panic. I've never seen them in a panic, and every time we deal with them, it's just nothing but easiness on our part. They just make it so much smoother. It's ridiculous.
I've only seen, and this is, I'm being honest, but I've only seen one show being thrown where the people throwing it were just fucking like yelling at each other and like, and I was like, what's going on? And it was, I forgot what it was. It was in the Del Mar Fair. Was it a Reptile Nation show? I forget, but it was like super like, are you guys okay? Like, what the, like, what is, you know, like, what is happening? Like, you guys like literally snapping at each other and like even snapping at people for not being in the right lines. And you're just like, whoa, guy, like, relax. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, it's so I feel you on that. Like the whole having a good vibe and having, like, you know, to me, man, I see Rami at the Reptile Super Show just cool as a fucking cucumber, walking around, shaking hands, kissing babies. I mean, he's definitely like on alert and taking care of shit. So I'm just saying, if you are throwing a show and you are able to mingle and be a part of the fucking show, that's props to you, because that isn't easy to do. Like, you got to understand, there's a lot that comes with, I'm sure you guys already know this, but there's so much that comes with throwing a show. Not only of, tending to the customers and people who are there attending, but the vendors. Like, there's so many things that come into play. I'm sure. So props to you, Sean. And thank you for, that live chat. Again, guys, any live chat gets sent over to USARK. So if you guys want to match my boy right here, Sean, like my homegirl, Hannah Banana, look, Texas fucks with Texas. Look, another Texan right here. She's a trapper. Is my homegirl, Hannah. She's in the ball python. She's in the ball python game. I'm probably going to end up giving her a super dwarf at some point. But like I said, I love Texas because Texas backs up Texas all day, every day. And one thing you really feel, I mean, you could kind of tell, who's from Texas just by following certain Instagram accounts. You could tell who the Texans are. But more importantly, when you go to shows, like Arlington, even though Arlington, I mean, there's Tinley, right? Tinleys are known to be Tinleys, but I feel like Arlington is its own Tinley in a way, because in Texas, Arlington, you see every respectable breeder that's in Texas show up to Arlington from what I've seen. I met a real famous venomous guy who is super low key that I just found out about, who lives in Texas. Like, Texas is like the Mecca, dude. I'm telling you right now, like, I don't know. Every time I go to Texas, I look around and I feel like I'm going to be here at some point. Like, I really do. Like, just because the peace I feel like, and I don't know if it's my homie Mark Hager that, gave me a hug when he saw me in Texas, and he said to me in my ear, "Welcome home." And that really, like, when I heard those words, I'm like, is this home? Like, I felt like it was home. And I just have a really special place in my heart for Texas and Texans, I got to say.
Yeah, no, we love it here. It's phenomenal. I mean, everybody here is great. But I mean, I got to give it up to some Oklahoma people as well. We're just right over the border in OKC.
Hey, why do they call I'm so sorry, but somebody just said this the other day. Why do they call Oklahoma the poor man's Texas?
I have no idea.
Who said that?
I don't know.
Somebody said that. And
I know there's a big football rivalry and they're always back and forth with each other, but I don't know why they would say it's a poor man's Texas. But I'll tell you, there's some really good breeders out of Oklahoma City. I mean, you got Bob Clark there, you got Will Banks there, you got Chris McVicker, who you were trying to say his last name earlier.
Yes, McVicker. Oh, dude. Okay, I'm so glad you brought that up. I'm king at butchering shit. I wasn't really good at reading as a child.
I'm just kidding.
But okay, McVicker.
He said it's cheaper to live here. That's why.
That's what he said.
Yeah, he just wrote it down. Cheaper to live in Oklahoma.
So, Chris McVickers. So maybe it was Andrew Acevedo, but it was somebody who brought him up at Arlington. He had a table, right?
He was with us.
Yeah.
He was okay. Here's why I'm so excited to bring you guys to the new breeder on the block series, being Retic keepers, because you guys, from what I can tell, aren't dabbling, evolving with anything trashy that has to do with Retics. You guys are only fucking with the best people who are still messing with Retics. And I could just tell because of the people who are in these comments. And that's what I'm talking about. As much as I have fear and, convince myself to let go of the Retics because I feel like, at some point we may not be able to keep them. Understand what I just said, may. Everyone is in a fear of a may situation.
Correct.
It may not happen either. These Retics can make a huge comeback, and I fucking hope to God they do, because at the end of the day, they are worthy of so much. I mean, it's like a Nile monitor situation, but worse. I mean, Nile monitors are gorgeous, but there's not morph Nile monitors like there is Retics. Like, there's so many endless opportunities with the Retic game if we could get them in the right hands. And I'm so happy that you guys are in this, working with the right people. Like, that's how you're going to be successful with what you're working with, is with the people you associate yourself with. You know what I mean? Because you got to understand, if you associate yourself with trash, your shit's going to be trash. That's just what the outcome's going to be. So you fucking with the Herp Show, you know, messing with all these other people that are diehard. Is that something Pruitt? Remind me his name.
Aubrey Pruitt.
That guy's gangster as fuck. And he's
that's my boy.
Dude, highly respected in the game. And when I saw him fucking with you guys, I was like, dude, like it got me excited. Like, you understand, Dax, like you hit me up in the beginning when I was getting rid of the Retics, asking me, what am I doing? And you were like, yo, what do you know, like you were kind of like, damn, don't do it. And I was like, yo, like, trust me, I've already been through this. And I was looking at how excited you were to get into the Retics. And that was literally me 3 years before me getting rid of them. So I was like, dude, this guy is so pumped up. And I'm almost scared for him, just because you got to understand, like I had a couple good Retic mentors, but that was it. You know, I didn't know you guys had all this help. Like, you guys are in a good position. You guys have good support, good mentorship. And the biggest thing you guys have are people that are able to do some sort of breeder loans with you where they could like lighten your load up a little bit. Because when you're in a position, you think you could just hatch everything and just sit on everything, dude, you're going to neglect things quicker than you know it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, see, our plan is also to, we're not trying to be a puppy mill of snakes. We're not trying to breed 100 clutches a year. We're not trying to beat anybody else because Joe Schmo says he's got 200, I have 200. We're not into that. We are literally, my goal is trying for 7, getting whatever I can after that. We know I probably won't get to 7. I'll probably get 4 to 5 on an average, but that's fine with me. And that's perfect because I can't afford to be keeping so many babies here. And, you know, I mean, we move stuff rather quickly, but we don't move it that quickly. And I'd rather have quality over quantity before anything else, you know. And I hate to say it, you know, but another thing with us is that when I used to go to shows and stuff like that, like this is a big story of mine. I used to go to some breeders and they were assholes. And I would talk to them and I would be like, how much is that snake? And it'd be like 2,000. And I'd be like, well, I have 1,800 cash. Well, you don't have 2,000. And they would walk away and start talking to somebody else. So we don't want to be those people. We don't want to be the people that are like nickel and diamond, you know what I'm saying? Because I have a great job that, to be honest with you, I don't need to be in the hobby. You know, with her working as well, we both don't need to be in the hobby. You know, we could be fine without it, but we love the animals. We love everybody we have as friends. We love the whole scene. You know, we want to make it fun again. That's what we're trying to do. But, you know, at the end, if somebody came up to me and said, listen, I have experience in boas for 10 years. I want to move to a retic. I want that one, but I'm like $200 short. I'll give it to them. Yep. I'm not going to tease them out of it. You know what I'm saying? Here's your retic. If you, and that's one thing about us too. If you need us, we're here 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. You can call me. Most of the time at my job, I'm available. So whatever happens. You can just call us and we're just there.
Wouldn't say 24 hours, maybe not past 10 o'clock.
Well, I don't sleep. So
be careful how you say that. People will take advantage.
I don't sleep. I'm up all hours of the night. So.
But that's, yeah, like you said, we don't want to try and push out more than 6 clutches per season and hoping that we can get 3 or 4 so that we just get a nice amount of eggs. We're not trying to have 200, 300, 400 babies because it's not manageable for us. Not when we're working full time and then doing this on top of it. It's not manageable. And we talked about maybe to the point where if we do start getting bigger and growing, me working part-time and then having more time to do snakes, and then it might be an option for us to up as many clutches, you know, as we want to per year, but not right now.
I mean, all I got to say is, and when it comes to you thinking on a big scale of Retics, go look at some of the people who are doing stuff on the big scale Retics. Not many, and not many are doing it right. Not even a little bit. Some are doing it to where it was fucking scare you to death, where you don't even want nothing to do with Retics like me. That's exactly what happened to me, guys. And that's why I'm so like, you know, I'm very cautious on what kind of Retic people I bring to the channel, because at the end of the day, if I don't believe in what you're representing, I'm not going to fucking diminished and spoiled my own content, bringing someone who has terrible practices. Like I got people who request me to bring other retic breeders on here who just have just a terrible reputation and still have not chosen to change and evolve and still have shitty reputations. But because they've been around for so long, people fuck with them. You know what I mean? And the one thing I can't stand, and I don't want to be a damper right now, but the one thing I don't like about this industry is how big of a piece of shit you can be with these animals and still be able to sell animals and still be able to have some sort of reputation. That kind of fucking makes me sick. You know what I mean? Yeah, people are becoming more woke. I feel like more people are kind of seeing like, oh shit, like what is this about? But seeing there's so many things being portrayed over a phone that you don't even know the truth. Okay. All I got to say, if you really follow anyone big, okay, and when I say big, like somebody who has a lot of retics, go to their facility. See if they'll even let you go to the facility. And if they do invite you, that's a plus. Then go take your fucking mental notes and don't go easy on them. I'm telling you right now, man,
Right.
that's what you need to go. You need, if you could find someone doing them right, if you could find somebody doing it right with these big snakes and get the mentorship, good for you, dude. You're good. That's a way. But if you don't have any mentorship and you feel like you got it on your own and you're going to figure this out and breed retics without building a name for yourself, like here's the thing, even with ball pythons, you could invest $100K and breed that year and make 10K animals. Who says you're going to sell them? Nobody. You don't have a name. Like you don't just. I mean, people think they could just fucking produce a 30K animal and start selling 30K snakes. Dude,
nah,
you ain't
work
shit.
yeah, we don't. I mean, there's still some shows where we don't sell anything. You know, we don't really even. Yeah, so we didn't sell not one thing. You know, and to me, it doesn't bother me. That's another thing about us is that we're not. I don't care if I don't make a sale. You know what? I'd rather educate people on retics and how they are and the husbandry on them and what needs to be done with them and how they should be taken. Just everything as an overall. I'd rather give the people that knowledge so maybe down the line they could think about it and just not impulse buy because that snake is really pretty. You know, that's one thing that if you come to my table and you're like, oh my God, I want that snake because she's so beautiful. I usually will probably turn you away most of the time, unless you have some experience. And I'll ask you, I'll straight out, do you have an experience with retics? No. Do you have anything with boas? And usually my cutoffs with boas. If you haven't worked with a big boa, you know, you can, a big boa and a male retic can be around the same size. And it's, you know, if you maintenance feed them, you know, so with us, if it can, you can probably manage, you know what I'm saying? As long as you understand, even with a 10 or 11 foot male, not being the size of a female, you still need someone around. So that's what we try to do is, you know, we try to educate people. And that's our biggest thing is we want to educate people before they buy anything. Because trust me, we've been to shows where people are like, I just bought this snake from this guy over there. I don't know what to do. He couldn't answer my questions. And we're like, are you kidding me?
Yeah.
You just bought a retic from some guy. And it's usually not a retic breeder. It's somebody who's, you know, who's flipping 9,000 snakes, whether it's colubrids or everything else on their table, who has no idea about retics. They just put them on the table. So it's just sad, and we don't want to do that. I'd rather educate somebody and tell them, listen, get all your knowledge done. Make sure you know what you're doing. If you can't handle this, don't be sad about it. There's other options. There's a lot of other options.
Anyone who's not trying to pass down information to the next person will become irrelevant in the next 5 years. Mark my words. I guarantee if you're somebody who has a name now and you're hoarding information, you don't want to help people out, that's going to fucking build against you up quicker than you believe it, because we're in an era now where social media is looked upon, where people go for information, and that's what helps you grow. But we are in a place where the more people, the better for us. Like, we need more people involved with these snakes, the right kind of people, obviously. But the thing is that the good thing about what's happening with all these new keepers coming in is they're coming across a lot of platforms that are putting out good information, like this podcast and a bunch of other shit. You know what I mean? And a lot of people are sponges right now. Like, they're trying to find out what to do, what's right, and they're trying to go that route, versus people who are doing things since the 90s who just choose not to want to do, because you understand, like, humans been working with animals where they didn't know, they didn't have a fucking clue. And I feel like we still don't have a fucking clue of what we're doing with these animals. And that's just how it is. You know what I mean? But we've at a point where we should be evolving. Like, we should always want to do better for these animals. And there's just some people who much rather are concerned about the dollar amount versus doing better for the animal. And that's where we're going wrong. You know what I mean? I want to say this real quick. I mainly got rid of my Retics. I used to say I got rid of my Retics because I couldn't put them in 10 by 18 enclosures. But at the end of the day, you could keep a Retic in an 8 by 3 enclosure if you're taking it out frequently. Like, if you're exercising it and letting it out and letting it roam and do its thing, that's all Retics really need, is to be let out. They can't be kept like a ball python. Ball pythons, it's known, ball pythons are found in ant mounds. Like, they are like buried and burrowed in fucking dark, warm places where you never see them. Who was it? Was it Barchek? Somebody who was in the wild, like, did actually researches in Africa where ball pythons are at. Was it Ari? I can't remember. But they never saw ball pythons. Like, rarely ever saw ball pythons because they're never being seen. You go to Indo, or you go to certain places in Indo and shit, you'll see a Retic fucking just goddamn perched out on a tree. You know what I mean? Dude, Retics are just a snake that need to be let out like a pit bull or something. Like, you gotta let it out. Because
we do that with ours. We're big fans on not overfeeding. We push the issue of maintenance feed, just for the fact that it gets disgusting when you start feeding it too much, and then if you don't exercise it, like you said, you don't take it out, it just gets fatter and it gets blobby and creates fatty cysts and deposits that it's not healthy for the animal. So and which you're totally right. Another big part of it is taking them out and letting them go. And we do the same thing here. Usually every night we're playing with, we have our little sections of enclosures, and every night is a different section where we'll take them out, we'll play with them, we'll do whatever for about an hour and a half. And this way it's enrichment for them. We literally let them roam around the house. They just go around. And we just keep an eye on them so they're not crawling in cabinets or anything and not getting lost. But you're totally correct with that. If you do those certain things and you don't overfeed these animals, you can keep them in a smaller enclosure. And you can. I've seen guys who have 10-foot male retics. They're super healthy, not fat at all, and they keep them in a 5x2 with no problem at all. No problem at all. These snakes love being in there. They go into their corner. They don't want to be bothered, and they stay right there, and they're fine.
I like to tell everyone, like, retics are like a big puppy dog. If you don't handle it and you keep it locked in a cage and you're not giving it any attention, it's not going to be a very fun animal. You have to handle it. You have to give it affection. You have to show it attention. Any dog, if you just stick it in a corner and not do anything with it, it's going to be defensive. It's going to have anxiety. It's going to be aggressive. If you're just throwing food at it. And that's what a lot of people do with these retics when they get them, if they don't know, is they're just throwing food at it and not handling it like they should.
Yeah. And, if you treat Retic like a wild animal, it's going to become a wild animal. And that's one wild animal no man's ready for. I'm telling you right now, like, that's, and, you're even saying earlier, like, 10 feet is like a protocol where there's 2 people. But dude, there was a girl who just got killed about over a year ago by a 7-foot fucking super dwarf Retic. Like, it does not even a 10, like, not even an 8 or 7 footer is something to be like, oh, we're good about. Like, dude, that snake, even at that size, could fuck you up. You know what I mean?
Definitely. My female, we have a smaller female. She's about 10 foot. And let me tell you, she's probably the strongest one out of all of them. And she's very scared of the floor for some reason. I don't know what it is. She doesn't like the floor. So as soon as I pull her out, the first thing she does is either wrap herself 100% around my arm, or she'll go around my shoulders. And then when she gets on my shoulders, she usually falls asleep across my neck. But there was one time she got startled. There was something not wrong with her, right with her. And all of a sudden she tightened up. And when she tightened up, I could not move my arms. I had to call her over to loosen her up. And she's not even big. So it just shows you that, and you're correct, 7 or 8 foot animal at its full potential can hurt you. It definitely can.
So let me ask you guys this. when it comes to like your guys' feeding schedule, like, I mean, is everything basically like bi-weekly, or like how are you guys feeding your guys' big snakes right now?
The big ones, like our full-grown females that are like 12 feet and up,
Right.
We're doing, since it's not really season for them anymore, it's usually a 3 to 5 pound rabbit every 3 weeks.
Every 3 weeks. Okay.
And then, you know, if we're out of rabbits, it might be a couple jumbo rats. But like you said, it's more maintenance feeding. I'm not pushing a rabbit every week if it's not breeding season.
Okay.
And during breeding season, I'm definitely upping the food because they're going to withhold it and not eat, and, you know, need all that nutrition for the eggs once they start popping out. But females, it's usually every 3 to 4 weeks, 3 to 5 pound rabbit. Our babies, we feed weekly. Our subadults and yearlings is about every week to every 2 weeks right now.
Okay. Now, let me ask you this. I mean, obviously, you just said it's something about, you know, you feed them, you go to rats if you run out of rabbits. How often are you guys running out of rabbits? Is that something that you guys kind of have to worry about, or is it kind of random when you guys run out?
I stay pretty on top of all the feed. We have a really great supplier that does rabbits, B&K Supply, that is we met through the Herp Show with Sean. And so whenever we have a Herp Show, I always message her and say, are you going to be at the show? If so, she says, yep, just tell me what you need and I'll bring it to you. And then I get everything I need. I mean, it's as much as like pinky rabbits and she's got like probably 5 to 7 different types of rabbits, including dwarfs. So if I needed something small for a baby that might not be eating it, I can get it, versus up to like a 7 pound rabbit.
Nice. So, you know, you guys had success recently, right? Or was it last year about your first clutch, right? Or when did you guys?
It was February 11th.
Yeah. Fuck yeah. All right. Let's talk about it. So what was the pairing?
It was a Mochino het anthrax to a Mochino pus het anthrax.
Oh my gosh. So there could be an anthrax Mochino possibly.
If we're lucky, it would be a world's first mocha anthrax.
Oh my God. That was one of my projects. I had a female mocha, a Mochino 100% het anthrax. And then I had just a regular anthrax male het purple. And yeah, that was like my goal was to make, I wanted to put anthrax in everything. Like I was golden child anthrax and fucking platinum anthrax. I was obsessed with the anthrax. You know what I mean?
You and Chris will get along real good.
Yes,
if you love
Chris
anthrax.
loves. So these two that we got with the pairing that just laid the clutch, those were his. They're his breeding set that we did a breeder loan with, and we took them over and did all the work. And we were lucky enough that I had done my numbers and mapped everything out. And I had messaged him. It was like a week before NARBC, and him and Sarah, his wife, were staying with us for NARBC. And I said, Chris, there should be babies while you're here. Like there should be eggs. And he's like, no way. And I was like, yeah, if my calculations are correct, she's gonna lay the 10th or the 11th. And sure enough, I get home that Friday at 12 o'clock
of NARBC.
That Friday of NARBC, and he's downstairs getting the babies in the showcases, and I'm like, Dad! And he's like, what? And I said, there's fucking eggs! Get up here!
Yeah.
And he's like, no way! And he comes running, and so I was watching and texting Chris, and I'm like, the eggs are here. They're coming. They're coming.
Dude, what a feeling, huh? And I can tell you right now, I've the ball python, my first ball python clutch, I'll never forget. And myself just had my first super dwarf Retic clutch. And
congrats, dude.
Thank you. Yeah. But dude, seeing those eggs are just so dude, a Retic egg is so prehistoric. It is like they're fucking big, and it's like, oh, but there's so many of them. How many did yours lay?
So ours was a first-time female. We actually weren't sure if she was going to go. Chris didn't think she was going to go because she is on the smaller side and a little bit younger. So she laid 16 eggs with only 1 slug.
Right. Wow.
So we were happy with that. It was a good number.
Yeah, that's respect right there. So technically, let me ask you this, because I'm curious. You know, I felt like when I paired up my snake, you know, I had a real seasoned breeder. Like the male breeder that Andrew sent me was just, this guy is just a breeder pro, right? And like I said, I felt like the timing was perfect. how did you guys do your cycling, or how did you guys work that in when your guys' breeding? Like, you know, obviously you guys probably had some help or had some advice, but how did you guys do your pairing? I'm curious.
So we had a lot of advice from everyone, from Amanda, from TJ's Constrictors, Tyler Bridget, he's amazing too. He's who we got our Motley GC from the first time. From Chris, from Keith Stambaugh, I mean, you name it, we had from Aubrey. We had the backup just giving us how they would do it. Some would do 24 hours in, 24 hours out. Some would do 2 days in, 2 days out. We worked it out to where the Mochinos, we kept them together 95% of the time, whether they were eating. And that was it.
Right. Damn. Okay. So look at them at what temperature? What are the temperatures right now?
Ambient's about 82.
Low side's about 79. High side's about 86.
Okay, nice. And so with the mainlands, how many days until they hatch out? What's the typical time frame with the mainlands?
87, 80.
Well, 85 to 89 days.
Okay, cool. Now let me ask you guys this: what's going to be your stand on like cutting? Like, you guys feel like you're going to cut eggs or no? Yeah.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
I'm a little nervous, but
It's definitely nerve-wracking because, like, you know,
I don't want to do anything.
Here's the one thing I just like realize, you know, I know this, but I'm very impatient too, right? But if it's one thing that kind of makes your stomach sick is when, you know, not on purpose, but if you cut the egg too soon, you know, there's a chance you cut a vein and it bleeds, right? And the blood, I could just tell you, anytime I've cut an egg where it was that early and I cut a vein, the blood sitting inside the egg is not always a good thing. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like because then they shit and stuff like that, and it sits in there. And so I feel like the whole, once you see a pip is the time to cut is like the solid way to go.
Yeah. That's what we planned on. Once we see that first 1 or 2 pips, then we're like, all right, we're in the clear to cut. Everything's good. Other than that, we're not cutting anything.
Yeah, we're not rushing nothing.
Yeah, that's the way. Now, let me ask you this. What's your guys' holdback game going to be like? I mean, you know, now that you have these 16 potential eggs that could hatch out, what are you hoping that hatches that you guys could keep?
Oh man, we split them with Chris McVicker since it was the breeder loan, but I am sure hoping that we can pop out a Mocha Anthrax. That would be awesome. And if it's a female, it goes to Chris. But if it is a male and we can keep it, I mean, that would be our first holdback that I would probably never let go. I mean, a world's first Mocha Anthrax and our first clutch that we laid, that would be an awesome double win.
So you get one of those snakes, and then what would be the game plan when it raises up? What would you want to put to it?
Purples.
Purples?
Yep, I'd want to do purple. I'm a big albino fan, so anything purple, lavender, I mean, any albino literally is just to get them, if I can get them purple and just some crazy design and color, that's what I look for. That's my biggest game. That's why, you know, with Aubrey Pruitt, with the Ocelot, it's, I don't know if you've seen the caramel Ocelots he had.
No, there's caramel Ocelots. Are you kidding me?
Dude, go look at them. It's insane. It is insane, bro.
On Instagram? Does he have Instagram? What does he have?
Yeah, he's on Instagram. It's A and B.
I'll send it to him right now.
Yeah, she'll send it to you right now.
What is it? A and B? Can you just, how you spell it?
A and B Exotics.
So just A.
Just A.B. Exotics official.
Oh, there he is. All right, let's check it out.
The third picture is his caramel.
Oh my God. Bro, he has Halmaheras?
No, we have one actually.
We have a Halmahera.
You have a Halmahera? What? When? No, wait, male or female?
The male. He's an F2.
What's your okay? Okay, what? Oh, we're gonna talk about. We need to relax. I need to relax. Okay, here we go. Shout out to the homie Aubrey, dude. Listen, respect. Here you go. I don't follow Retic people much anymore, but I will follow you. So check this out. Okay, here we go. Wow, this is fucking intense. So what are we looking at here? Which one did you want to show me?
The third one.
Yeah, the third one.
Oh my God, bro. That's
the caramel Indo.
You got to be shitting me right now.
Yeah, the Indo caramel is inside the middle, the dorsal area, and then the silver from the Ocelot is on the outsides. I mean, right there alone, that's just a crazy ass design, and it's just ridiculous.
Oh my God, that is so insane.
Yeah.
And he made this?
Yep.
Oh my God, this show, dude, the Ocelot is so untapped.
Yeah. He was nervous. He was nervous when he first had the clutch, and I'm like, dude, you're gonna have 4 of them. I told him, I said, you'll have 4. And he's like, if I have 1, I'll cry. And next thing you know, he wound up having 3. He cut his first 10 eggs, 3 of them popped out. The rest of the clutch was nothing. So
imagine seeing that in the egg when you cut it. I mean, that's the goal, bro. This is insane. And I will say, I mean, I've seen yours in person, and I've held Eric Lee's. This Ocelot is such a game-changing snake. Like, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Now, speaking of the Ocelot, since we're talking about that right now, what's your guys' plan with the Ocelots that you guys have? I mean, you have some for sale, right? But then are you keeping any, or what's your plan?
No, we're not
we're not going to keep any. We do have some of our breeds for sale. We have 2 visual females and 1 male, and then we have a caramel het Ocelot available.
Wow. Damn. I would love to put Super Dwarf in that. I'm not even joking. Now, I mean, guys, let me ask you this. Super Dwarf is something I'm very passionate about. And I want to know where you guys stand with Super Dwarfs. And don't hold back. I mean, you guys could be like, listen, the way I looked at Super Dwarfs at one point was the way I see a pit bull and a chihuahua. You know what I mean? Like, a chihuahua is not a dog. It's not a fucking dog. It's not, it's not. You keep it like a big rat. It's, it poos like a rabbit. It's not fucking, it's not going to destroy your couch. You know what I mean? Like, you get a pit bull and everything changes. It's the same thing, But at the end of the day, I'm in a position where I'm in California. I was in a position where these mainland Retics got too much for me. But now I just have a pair of Super Dwarf Retics, and that's the closest I could get to really having what I want without overdoing it, I feel like, right? But I also feel like for the most average person, I feel like a Super Dwarf is going to be more feasible than a mainland. So what's your guys' plan? Do you guys ever plan on getting into the Super Dwarf game or implementing?
We are. Yeah, like I said earlier, we're gonna plan on doing that this summer.
Let's talk about the plan. What have you guys talked about so far?
All right, the plan is actually the funny, because I was talking the plan with Eric Lee the other day.
Yes, that's the man.
He was in Dallas the other day, so we met up with him. And I mean, talking to him was phenomenal. It was.
Hey, dude, Eric Lee is gangster, huh? He's so awesome.
He's amazing.
Dude, he was just giving me info on like what to do, and I'm like, oh, holy shit, okay.
I just want to hug him. Eric Lee is somebody when I'm next to him, I just want to hug him the whole time. He's just,
he's an awesome dude. So he was telling me what to do. He was like, he's like, if you really want to get into it real fast, get a male, put him to your female mainland, and then pick up a female because I myself am a big gene snake person. So I like my snakes with 7 or 8 genes in them. You know what I'm saying? So if I can do that, I'm happy. Let me come out with a snake. Probably it'll be pink. I don't care. Just We'll figure something out later down the line when it proves out. But I'm that way. So he was telling me that, the smart thing for us to do would be to do that, to get into the Super Dwarf game, because so many of my snakes that I have in my collection are so high gened that some of these genes aren't even being thought of being put into them yet. Right. Which I'm sure they are, because some of these guys don't give up their secrets, and I know that for a fact. But he told me, he's like, go for it. The sky's the limit if you want to do that. So then I was thinking in my head, I said, I got to do this. So, it reassured me to go and get, a female and a male. So eventually over the next few months, I'm going to wind up picking up a female and a male, probably a pure Calatoa. So we can go from there.
What up? What if I breed a nice 50% female and I send you one? Will you guys be accepting it?
Yes.
Yes.
Anything for me, I'll accept. I'll accept it for me. Definitely.
No, listen, guys. You gotta understand. This makes me feel good. Like it's cool to have people who are passionate about Retics, but doing it in a way where I could be happy for them. It's heartbreaking that the last few podcasts I kind of went on rants on on people not doing retics the right way. And I'm not trying to stay focused on that. But at the end of the day, like, you know, we're in a position right now with USARK where we're getting these fucking potential whitelist threats and all this stuff where we should all be on our P's and Q's right now. We should all be on top of our shit. And if you're somebody out there with a huge platform, like, you should be the front leader on helping USARK. You should be at least, like, I mean, there's people who are every day posting USARK on their story and they have 200, 300 followers and they're just doing it because they really believe in it. But you have like these big, huge million plus multi-million followers Instagram accounts that aren't putting not one piece of USARK information out there. And that right there, like, it's like, well, it just slaps all of us in the face. Like, like everyone who's coming up with their snake money, coming up with their 9-to-5 money to support USARK. You know what I mean? Like, what makes you better than us? Like, I don't understand. Like, well, oh, because you've been here longer, you don't have to fucking support USARK? Like, no. Like, oh, because you support USARK 10 years ago, you don't need to do it now? Like,
they'll regret it once the animals are gone, and all of a sudden they're giving them up too.
But there's the thing. I don't think they care when the animals are gone. I feel like these people who choose not to support USARK have been so involved with these animals where they're milking it and they don't give a fuck. They're like, listen, take it all. Because once take mine, you have to take yours. I don't give a fuck. That's their attitude. They don't care about the next generation. They don't care about the youth like us who are trying to keep this going. To them, they got everything they got out of this, and they're still milking as much as they can.
Correct. We're not into that. We wanted to help out Phil this, when he was at Arlington. We upped our memberships from bronze to silver. My stepdaughter is actually, she's getting involved in ball pythons herself now soon. She's 12 years old. She's going to probably breed this year if possible. She just signed up as a bronze member. So we're trying to push everybody. And then we also got, I don't know if you saw at Arlington, but our shirts have USARK on the sleeves. Phil gave us the okay to put the USARK emblem on any shirts we do.
So with our shirts, our special edition ones that have the USARK emblem, percentage of the shirt fees that we sell goes back to USARK.
That's what I'm talking about. I mean, that's honestly, it's all you have to do to help a little bit more. Like if more people just did just a little bit more extra, like, just recently it's been a while since I've, created any kind of storms on Facebook, but I had to, because shout out to Gary Shavino, somebody I highly respect in this game. Mm-hmm. And he did a call out on his Facebook about, I had the homie Robin Markland from the Reptile Report on, and Robin started and helped fucking get, blow up Ship Your Reptiles. He's the man behind Ship Your Reptiles. All because of that guy, Robin, is the reason why Ship Your Reptiles is big like it is. So what I'm getting at is Robin knows that 7 out of 10 people who decided to go through Ship Your Reptiles, I'm talking not 7 out of 10 sponsors, 7 out of 10 people as a whole decided not to keep that $1 box checked. That means they rather take time out of their whatever they're doing to uncheck that box all the time. $1 fucking dollar. $1 that just goes to USARK. Even if that box stayed checked and never got unchecked, even that would do much of a difference. You know what I mean? But at the end of the day, like this, you have, all I could say is if Barcheck can make amends and start a relationship, like you get going again with USARK after 10 plus years, anybody can. Anybody can. Barcheck is a good example on why you get the fuck over yourself. Who gives a shit? Not that he was stuck on himself. I'm just saying, whatever the situation is, Barcheck wanted to come help. Barcheck always wants to help. That's the thing. People don't understand that Barcheck is always willing to help. He's really for this shit. And that's why I 110% back up Brian Barcheck with all my heart. You understand, there's people at Arlington who've even told me, like, do you know about Barcheck and like everything he's done? I mean, who's fucking perfect? We've all done shit in the past, but it's all about what you do today. And that's all I care about. Like, what are you doing today? Like, I mean, if you really dig up on my past, go look the shit I used to be in. I've fucking been locked up for selling drugs. I've robbed homies. I've done some fucked up shit to people, and I'm not happy about it. But I am who I am, and I'm different today because of all my experiences. So,
Correct.
dude, Barczyk is. I hope any fucking big influencer looks at Barczyk as somebody who they should be when it comes to evolving and getting over your terrible practices. When you're doing something that's not good for an animal or not good for the hobby, switch it up. Fucking evolve.
Yeah.
That's what life is about, evolving. You know what I mean?
But it just sucks that it's like that way because, being behind the table, it's a shocker on what people see and how they accept things and how they look at things and how they make things turn out. My top 3 things are that snake's going to be 40 feet. 40 feet, really? Number 2 is usually I'm not going to get that snake because when it breeds and has eggs, it's going to eat my face off.
Right.
Really? And it just hurts, with stuff like that because it's when we pulled the eggs out, we did, we had about 6 people here. 6 people came from NARDC with us back to my place. And they're like, we're going to watch you pull the eggs, and then I'm like,
sick ass invite.
So, everybody was like, Dad, we're not going to tell you what to do. Just take it easy. What you got to do. And literally, the second time she threw her body, I caught her, pulled her off, and Taylor went in and grabbed her eggs and pulled them out. And that was it. Literally, that was it.
It was a minute and a half. There was no striking. There was no craziness. All she did was twitch her body, and that was it. And the second twitch, he grabbed her and pulled her out, and I grabbed the eggs, and that was it.
That's what I'm talking about. Well, what I love is like you had people around you who weren't trying to get in your way, weren't like, all right, let me do it. Like
oh no, they were like, this is your clutch, you're doing it.
Yeah. You gotta know you gotta know that feeling. Even if you do something wrong, you're only gonna know if you're actually getting your hands dirty and doing it. And as excited as I was to get my Retic clutch, I wasn't there for it, and it kind of like it was kind of like, oh, that sucked, but. I mean, who better than Eric Lee to pull your clutch? You know what I mean?
I wouldn't be complaining.
Can you sign one of these eggs for me?
Hey, why? Yeah, can you sign this inbox, please? And here's the thing about Eric. The thing about people like Eric. Ones who've been involved in this and who've been who have a reputation of just doing things right. Are so humble, bro. They are so laid back.
Dude, amazing, dude.
And Eric's behind the scenes, bro. And he prefers to be behind the scenes, but he's willing to help people. He wants to put people on. And to go back to what we were talking about earlier about people not wanting to give you information, bro, I'm telling you, those are the people who don't have a future in this hobby. They're the ones that are scared. The reason why they don't want to give you information because they don't want you to pass them up. That's and it's weird to think that because you're just inquiring about something, but that was the old mentality of this hobby. People not wanting to give information to other people. They didn't want to pass it down. That was like the norm back in the day. But bro, times change, bro.
Yeah, I can't complain about one person that has been involved with DnT. I mean, they've literally given. I've spent time with the 5 main people who we speak with at hours, and these people are they don't care. They just stay on the phone with me, explain it to me, help me out. If I have any questions, I could shoot them a text, answer right away. It's a family. It really is. It's crazy. And it's not to say that I'm just Retic. Me and Taylor are just Retic people. We have a bunch of bull python friends too, who we love, who we talk to, who are good friends of ours, and stuff like that. And that's another thing we're trying to do is we're trying to get just a whole snake community together and stop with the BS about bull pythons and all this other crap. We're all doing the same thing. We're all trying to make the same goal. It's just the size of the animals are different. That's it. So we want to try to get everybody together, and again, right now, like you said with USARK, we all need to be together on this. There's got to be no differential between anybody. It's all about unity right now. And that's the biggest thing. And hopefully after this, hopefully everything turns out well for us. It continues and keeps going, this way, because I just hate seeing people looking at other people so badly, it's like, oh, he's a Retic guy, and we've come across that. We had one guy at a show point us out, like literally he was across the aisle from us, and he's like, that snake you don't want right there, that thing will kill you and your family. And it's like, she literally had to hold her back. And
you should have grabbed Hannah and be like, no, she'll kill you and your family.
It was a really upsetting moment because at that time he was holding a ball python, and he had that family pass us, and they were like, oh look, there's a snake out, can we go see it? And so they were talking to him, and our babies are not much bigger than his babies were at that point.
Right.
But he was holding his ball python and said, that over there, that's a Retic. You don't want that. That'll fucking kill you. Like straight out, just like that. And I was like,
it's like, why would you do that, bro? They had already passed our table. They weren't going to buy anything from us anyway, which was fine. We sat and spoke with them. Why would you do that? It just upset me even more. And I just don't want to see that discord, especially in the hobby. It's saddening. You know what I'm saying? You know what? If let somebody run their business and let them tell the people how things are going to be. Yes, Retics are dangerous, but let me do that. Let me do that in a manner that I could speak to somebody on a level where you don't sound like a prick doing it, you know? And he just came off like a total prick. And still to this day, I try not to even cross path with the guys because I don't even want to deal with them anymore. And, we see them all around a lot. But, it is what it is. But, we want to do that as well. We want to get everybody together, So that's like another main goal of ours.
It's just because we're Retic breeders and keepers, it doesn't mean that we have anything against ball pythons or geckos or bearded dragons or colubrids, whatever you want to own. I mean, I love all the animals. Am I wanting to keep them? No, but I have nothing against them. And I'm never going to be that type of person that's like, oh my gosh, you have a bearded dragon. I can't.
Bro, Retic people are okay. If you want to talk about ball python and Retic people, no ball python people are fucking doing this shit on my goddamn podcast. Holy shit. Look at this. Bro, you guys are balling out right now, bro. Look at this. Balling out right now.
Yes,
bro.
Let's go.
Look at this. Bill Stiegel. He's never done this in his entire fucking 38 years. How old are you, Bill? 38? I forget. But dude,
Bill follows us. Mm-hmm.
Bill Stiegel's the man. This guy right here, I'm telling you right now, I hope you guys can make it to his barbecue next time because it's going to be like a ritual now at his house. And listen, at the end of the day, Texas keepers are really good at what they do. This guy's chondro keeping abilities, short tail python keeping abilities, any kind of snake keeping abilities. This is a guy you guys should fuck with on a personal level. And that's my boy, Bill Stiegel. So hopefully next time I can guys meet you in September at his house. That'd be sick.
Yeah, we gotta. It's hard because now we always it's hard because the Retic family is so spread out all over the U.S. that we don't get to see each other so much, So it's and Earl, Earl Jones. He's always asking me when you come to my party, man.
Yeah, you weren't here Friday. Why weren't you here Friday?
When you
my God,
he doesn't say it to Jax, but he says it to me, and I'm like,
okay, Earl gave me because I wanted to go to the last time the USARK thing where he had the grappling thing with Antoine. And I didn't get to make it to that. So I was like, I'm going to your next one. But this is before I came up with the idea to throw a barbecue at Bill's. So then next Saturday, or the Saturday after Bill's, I see Earl and he's like, hey, MJ, he's like, I didn't see you at the barbecue yesterday. Where were you? I was like, oh, I went to Bill's. And he was like, oh, you went to Bill's, huh? And he put his head down, and I was like, dude, I had these. Okay, so I have these Trap Talk Patreon shirts with the pocket, super sick. I only give them out to my Patreon members and my guests, so you guys earn too. Good job. But
thank you.
But I was in my head, I was like, dude, I think I have a 3X. I only had a couple 3Xs like that. I think Earl's a 3X. So it's like, I have a 3X for Earl, and for sure I have one for his wife. I was like, I'm going to make it up for him at the auction. I'm going to hand him shirts, and we'll all be good. I won't feel bad, and we'll be good. So go figure, my table and his table are next to each other at the auction. We're sitting there.
I saw you guys,
and I'm like, hey, Earl, I got a shirt for you. He's like, you got me shirt? His face lit up. And I'm like, yep. And I looked at his wife. I was like, are you a medium, small? She's like, I'm a medium. I'm like, all right, here's a medium. And then Earl's, I got a 3X. He's like, oh, I'm a 5X. I'm a 5X. I'm like, was like, a 5X? I was like, what? He
likes to wear giant shirts. His shirts are always huge.
He's like,
dude, he came up to us in Arlington. He goes, I still haven't gotten one of your shirts. And I said,
oh, I felt so bad.
And I went like this. I was like, give him a shirt.
So now I have to do a custom order for like one 5XL for my man Earl, which Earl, I already put the order in. And next time I go to Texas, I will have a 5XL for your ass, your big ass, I should say. Fuck, dude. That's a big shirt, bro.
Well, I don't know if you saw it, but I was reading the comments, like I skimmed over. Chris said, come down to one of our Retic barbecues that he hosts in Oklahoma.
Yeah.
So what's up? Listen, I'm in a position where I'm trying to travel. I mean, I am pretty booked for the next few months, but I'm trying to go to a place like Oklahoma. I was trying to go, the homie Warren Booth. You know who Dr. Warren Booth is? Dr. Warren Booth from Oklahoma. Wanted to go to his place, but he'd rather do it in person at an Arlington show. So with that being said, I'm trying to pull up to Oklahoma. What's going on in Oklahoma? Let's go. Oklahoma is like how far from you guys?
We're 2.5 hours from Chris's place.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. So do you guys know I lived in Texas for about like 9 months or so, right? Yep. Mm-hmm. Tyler, Texas, next to Longview.
Next to Longview, yeah. Out east.
Right, and that's where I had, to this day, the best barbecue I've ever. Nothing. I keep going back to Texas, and I can't. Like, I almost feel like I need to drive to this place again, but it's just so far out of the way. Like, I can't believe I lived that far east Texas. Like, bro, there ain't shit out there, bro. Like,
well, now Tyler's huge now. There's a lot of shit in Tyler now.
Well, yeah, because I got flown out there when I worked for Verizon. They flew me out there to launch a couple stores, so I was doing a lot of training for the B2B sales reps and stuff like that. But I was staying, like, I was renting a nice ass like little high rise thing in I want to call it a high rise, but it was in downtown Longview, which is like a fucking out of a country movie. Like, it looked like looked like out of a cowboy scene, but Longview, but it was a nice renovated like studio type place, like right above a bar, and it was really, really nice. But like, there was nothing to do there. Like, all there was to do was drink or eat. Yeah. And dude, I gained like 50 pounds there, bro. Like, I blew the fuck up because
there's nothing out east.
I did work a lot. So I worked a lot to where I was like, I would work, and I'm like, dude, I lived right above a bar that had bomb ass barbecue. And then my favorite barbecue spot was like 5 minutes down the road. All I had was barbecue and beer, bro. Like, I drank alcohol every day. Anyone I kicked it with, fucking, we're at the bar drinking. Like, that was the thing. Everyone drinks in Texas. Everyone drinks in Texas. And it's funny I say that because I was also what was considered the Bible Belt. So meaning like Sundays or certain days, nobody sold alcohol. Like, it got weird on certain days. I was like, what is happening? Like, you know what I mean? So it's funny, as I say, people love to drink in Texas. I feel like because there's certain places that don't allow you to drink on certain days. And it's like,
so I moved to Texas almost 5 years ago from Vegas. I lived in Vegas for 21 years.
Right.
And when I moved down here, I had never known anything of a last call. So I'm at my bar the first time I get here, and they're like, last call. And I'm just drinking and having a good time with my coworkers that I had met. And she's like, hey, it's last call. Did you want to order a drink? I was like, yeah, I'll order in like 30 minutes or so. Like, I'm almost done. She's like, no, it's last call. You have to order now. They're closing. I was like, oh shit, bars close around here. I was like, I am not used to that.
Yeah, that's something else. Now, let me ask you guys this. Other than shows that you do in Texas, do you ever have plans on doing a Tinley or going to another big show like Daytona or something like that?
Daytona we can't do because there's no retics allowed.
Oh yeah, obviously, yeah, my bad idea, but not.
We would love to get in the Reptile Super Show in California one day.
That
would be sick.
Yeah,
like the Ven, right? Like the Ven, or just to pull up and hang out.
We do both. Both if we can. I'd rather do a show of that capacity and Tinley with my own stuff.
Right.
I want to go there with stuff that we've created, stuff that's come from us direct. That's how I'd rather do that. So, but yeah, I mean, it's definitely future goals. But until I could put at least 40 to 50 snakes out on the table, that's ours. We'll do that.
So I have, I guess, I mean, this isn't a hot seat question, but it might put you in a hot seat. Okay. This question right here, because I'm very curious on what your guys' take is on this. I've had I've had extended conversations with Garrett Hartle, Andrew Acevedo, like super dwarf, really, passionate super dwarf breeders about some mainland guys wanting to claim that they can make any snake small. You know what I mean? Or basically saying that, well, I could make my XX mainland just as small as your super dwarf by the amount that you feed it. And there's even some people going as far as labeling shit that's super dwarf that isn't even a super dwarf. And so I'm curious as far as like your guys' stand, like you guys are true believers that super dwarfs are a smaller species for a certain reason, right? And it's not, you guys don't think that you could turn a mainland into a super
No, that's not happening. And there's no way possible. I mean, it's ridiculous to even think that. I mean, you could slow the growth down,
right?
And keep their weight at a good manageable weight by maintenance feeding. And that's what we do. We maintenance feed everything we have, even our own collection stuff. We maintenance feed, and you can come to our house and our snakes, and you can ask anybody on the comments who've been here. Our snakes are healthy as shit.
Right. Oh yeah, I saw them in person. I saw your like what we were selling at the show, and they were, you know what I mean. Like you understand, it's as much as it's hard to kill a retic, you could still see a retic that's not doing good, and you could see a retic. And I, I could tell you guys a lot of times I'm not really looking at the displays. It's because I hate seeing that shit sometimes. You know what I mean? But for the most part, like I said, going to places to people who are doing it right and they have healthy animals. I mean, that's why it's so important if you vend. It's not about selling. It's about showing what you're made of. It's about showing your product. Like, I'll never forget when Justin Gabelka, like, told me the first time that, like, I don't come here to sell animals. Like, I'm just here basically to display things that people blow my channel up about and everything about so they can appreciate it more. And then they make relationships after that. Like, you're basically investing in yourself by going to a show.
Correct.
Profit or no profit. So, at the end of the day, I feel like people who aren't really upset about making a profit are still having a good time, still going, and still all about getting their name out there. And that's what it's all about.
I'm the same way. I'm a big believer in that too. That shows are just PR for us. It's just getting our name out there. It's showing people what we have. We don't push anything on anybody just because we have it. If somebody's like, oh, I want an albino pine, you guys have it. Okay. If you're gonna buy it, you'll buy it. I'm not gonna say to them, you can buy it right now. I mean, come on, let's go. If you want it that bad, you'll buy it right now. We don't do that.
Right.
We're not like that. It's we just, and again, like you said, it's showing off what we have. So this way down the line, when somebody wants to order from us either online or just even calling us up and asking our availability list, they'll know what type of animals we're giving out. So for us, that makes, and that's at shows, she sells everything. Every snake sold at a show is her. Online and all that other stuff through Instagram and stuff, that's through me. It's just, and it's weird, and that's the way she is. She loves her animals. She will sit there and talk to you she doesn't care. She will talk to you for an hour about it, explain everything totally to you about it. And that's the way we are. And if you don't buy it, big deal.
No, it's no harm, no foul. Like, I would rather have someone fully educated and be like, okay, maybe I can do this in 6 months, 6 to 9 months. Do you have a business card? Absolutely. I've had multiple people that we've given business cards and from the Herp shows, and they're like, I'm not ready now, but you've given me so much information. Do you mind if I reach out to you in a few months? When are you going to be back? Maybe I'll be ready then. And I would much rather have that than have someone who's uneducated and not ready to own a retic, even if it's a baby.
Right. 100%. Yep. All right. So I have a wrap-up question for you guys before we get into the actual hot seat questions, okay? And this is an important question because you guys are literally in the making of being new keepers to experienced keepers. Like you guys are earning your stripes as we speak. So with that being said, DnT fam, what is your advice or what is some input you have for any new keeper or anyone who maybe wants to just go straight to mainlands or get into retics? What would be your advice to them?
My part would be, don't be afraid to reach out to all the big guys like we did, because without their help, we wouldn't be where we are. I mean, there's so much knowledge that they have just from years and years of experience and trial and error that you can't get off the internet or YouTube. And if we didn't reach out, like I said, we wouldn't have that knowledge and know what we know. So my advice would be, don't be afraid to reach out. Like, we're always open to talk to people who want to get into it. I know Chris McVicker is super open about everything. Aubrey is, TJ, Jake, Amanda. Without them, like, we wouldn't have everything that we do.
Yeah, it's the same thing with me too. It's don't be afraid. Get your due diligence and get all the knowledge about everything you can. I tell people all the time, think about it. It's not something you're going to have an answer to in 2 or 3 days. You have to sit there and think about the cost of food. You know, that's another thing. Food's not cheap for a retic. You know, when you're buying 5 to 7 pound rabbits, it ain't cheap. You know, and neither are the rodents. You know, everything's a price. You know, Reptichip, if you keep it on, cocoa blocks, everything. There's a big amount of money to just having a retic. It's not like a ball python that you can keep in a 40-gallon breeder or in some sort of small enclosure, and you're okay with that. But again, it's do your due diligence, get all the information you need down. And if the safest thing and the most beneficial thing to me is, if you need to, get a ball python first and see how and manage with those. Learn to work that. Get a boa constrictor as a baby and work with that for a few years. Retics will always be here. They're not going to go anywhere. You know what I'm saying? So if you can get that experience in with a boa, or I wouldn't say ball python, but more with a boa, you get that experience in with kind of a bigger snake. I don't think you should have a problem with. Again, we won't sell anybody who's hasn't had that much knowledge or experience in the game. We wouldn't sell them a female because it's just way too big for certain people. So we'll shoot them a male. So that's how we work things.
Well, I'll tell you this from experience: a fucking big ass hissing boa, that's like, bro, that is, dude, that's not fun, man. Here's the thing. I'll never be that guy who could just get bit and be like, oh, I'm good. No, dude, I don't like getting bit. Like, I don't care. It's like getting a shot. Like, yeah, I can handle getting a shot, but I'm not there to get shots for fun. You know what I mean? Like, if I could avoid getting bit, I'm going to avoid getting bit. So when you have, like, dude, I'll never forget one of the first boas I got was a 6-foot fucking male who has bred. I don't know why I got him, but he was this beautiful, like, cal albino, like this white looking fucking snake. And one day he just switched up on me and I was holding him, and he, like, as I was holding him, he did a, and I was like, oh my God. And he was like, lunging at me, and I was like, like, dude, I'm telling you. So I think you're right, man. If you really want to get an idea, get in the boa game, man, and boas will fucking put you there. Because the thing about a boa, I mean, their teeth are obviously not like retics; they're a lot smaller, but they still hurt and they can still fuck you up. A boa will leave a welt on you. Like, they have a strong punch behind their bites. Don't fuck with boa. That's for sure.
It's a great medium between a retic and a ball python. It's still going to have the size, but not getting near.
But it's perfect, because if a boa is too much for you, then don't get a retic.
Exactly.
Yep, that is smart. Damn, you guys killed this fucking podcast. Super round. Hey, what's funny is the next round won't be on a new breeder on the blocks here. You guys graduated. You guys done. Good job. Listen, fuckers, I got hot seat questions now. Okay, you're not done. I'm coming hot with these. I'm not. First one, blue cheese or ranch. I'm just kidding. All right, here we go. Hot seat questions. Okay, coming in hot. Do your best not to explain. The quicker you answer these, the better. Okay. But here we go. You guys ready?
Mm-hmm.
Hot seat questions for DnT Retic. Here we go. Frozen thought or live?
Frozen thought.
You guys got to answer together. That's the thing.
Frozen thought.
Frozen thought.
Okay. Egg cut or no cut?
Egg cut.
Dax, you're killing me, Dax.
You got to answer.
Egg cut.
Jeez, terrible at this.
Okay. Red chondro neo or yellow chondro neo?
Yellow chondro.
Yellow chondro.
Okay. Favorite retic morph?
See, there you go.
Motley.
Ocelot.
Ooh, respect. Favorite super dwarf locality?
Kalatoa.
Turnip.
Yay imports or boo imports?
Yay.
Wow, I like that. That's how it's supposed to go down. Thank you. One reptile you could import right now.
Aztec.
Ooh, wow. One reptile we should stop importing right now.
Oh, jeez. That's hard.
It is a tough one.
Can we pass?
Nope.
Yeah, what can we...
I'm not a monitor person.
Ooh, you better be careful, girl.
Yep.
I know. But if Sarah's watching this and I say turtles, she'll kill me.
You can't say turtles. We love turtles. Hey, but honestly, turtles and tortoises, I feel like those are the ones that are the most fucked. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And as much as I love the turtle species and whatnot, those are the ones where people are doing prison time over. That's like the worst one, I feel like. And I feel like there's enough people working with amazing turtle species and whatnot here. So let's go with turtle. I'm down with turtle. I'm sorry, but we'll find. Oh, is it your daughter? You said?
Oh no, Sarah, Chris's wife.
Oh, Chris. Oh, okay, got you. Okay, yeah. We'll get you a sick turtle. Don't trip. Yay sports or boo sports?
Yay sports.
Favorite sport?
Football.
Favorite football team?
Raiders.
Broncos.
What the fuck? Broncos. What is your problem?
I'm from Denver.
Is that why you have orange hair? Is that orange hair that you have?
It's red, MJ. Jeez Louise.
Oh, like, damn, she's passionate. She's a real bronchi.
Her sister was a Bronco cheerleader.
My sister, I was born in Denver. My sister was a Broncos cheerleader for 6 years, and then she did all the choreography for them and for the Denver Nuggets cheerleaders team too. So
that's cool. Listen, at least it's not the Chiefs, and at least it's not the Chargers. So I will take. Listen, out of all the rivalries, I hated the Broncos the least. Because I was a Terrell Davis fan. Like there was people on the Broncos.
Terrell Davis was amazing.
Yeah, dude, Terrell Davis was the shit. Salute to Terrell Davis. All right, steak or fish?
Steak.
Favorite cut of steak?
New York strip.
Ribeye.
Favorite place that had number one barbecue in America?
Oh, Jesus. Heim, Fort Worth.
I really like Hard 8 barbecue here. It's amazing.
Hard 8, and you said what? What'd you say, Dax?
I said Heim in Fort Worth.
All right, I'm gonna hold you to that. Yay alcohol or boo alcohol?
Yay alcohol.
Favorite alcohol beverage?
Whiskey.
Straight vodka, Chopin.
I'm with her on the whiskey. Vodka's my kryptonite, bro. I'll black out and I'll get a fucking domestic violence case or something on vodka.
I get angry on vodka.
Yeah,
Do not give me vodka. Like whiskey, I'm the chillest, most fun person ever, and it's fine.
In college, I had a crazy night on vodka, and apparently, like my girlfriend's best friend at the time, I don't know why, but I grabbed one of those like strobe light things. Like I guess like she was trying to shut the party down, and she got in the car and left. And I grabbed one of those strobe lights and put it through her windshield. And like I was like known to be like a terror after that, and I had to like come out and be like, guys, I'm not really that bad. And I never drank vodka ever again. And yeah, Bill, yeah, tequila too, but I didn't get violent on tequila. I just got really, really sick. I got fucked up on tequila too. Anyways, okay, let's see. Where we at? Okay, Van Halen or Sammy Hagar?
Van Halen.
Green Day or Nirvana?
Green Day.
Oh, respect. AC/DC or Slayer?
Slayer.
AC/DC.
Whoa, damn. That's what I'm talking about. Little word of, okay, hold on. Whoa. West Coast rap or East Coast rap?
West Coast.
East Coast.
Wow. Favorite rapper of all time?
Mac Dre.
Yes.
Show me your face face. Do it, MJ. Show me your face face.
Thank you. Go ahead, Jack.
I gotta go with the Wu-Tang.
Dude, that's my second favorite right there. You guys are you okay? Hold on. This is weird. You guys did this on purpose, didn't you? Did you talk to my wife? What the fuck? Is it?
Do you remember we were? So I noticed it the first time I watched one of your podcasts, and this was like, it was probably a while back, but do you remember, I think Dax had texted you one day, we were driving back from Oklahoma, and I had put on Mac Dre because he had never heard of that.
Yes.
And I was singing the song and doing the fizz face. He's like, what are you doing? I was like, it's a fizz face. It's the fizzle dance. You don't understand. You understand.
People, you don't understand. Shout to my L7, square little breeder friends out there who don't get it. But I have like the emoji with the sad face, right? But it's like my fizz face. So every time I put it, people go, "What's wrong, man?" Or like, "Or is everything good?" And I'm like,
the emoji, and I was like, "It's a fizz face."
yeah, I'm like, "Bro, this is my fucking fizz face." You know what I mean? When you're feeling yourself, like when you're feeling good about the situations, you know what I mean? How you doing? She's a douche. What a keeper, bro. Good job, Dax. I'm like very, very happy for you right now. Little word association. First thing to come to mind: milk.
Cow.
New Retic keeper.
New Retic keeper.
Struggle.
Yeah, struggle.
Substrate.
Cocoa box.
Nice. Stuck shed.
Stuck shed.
Pain in the ass.
Pain in the ass.
ICAP.
I'm getting it all.
Bigger pain in the ass.
Ovulation.
Ovulation.
Exciting.
Yes.
Day 90.
Day 90.
Why haven't you fucking picked yet?
Oh, yeah.
Instagram trolls.
Pain in the ass.
Why?
Yeah. I wouldn't think it would be a pain in the ass to you, Dax. I feel like you just manhandle those motherfuckers like it's nothing.
He just scares everyone. That's why he doesn't sound anything at the shows.
Oh man, whatever, bro. Fuck that. You attract the real ones. Don't even worry about that. Listen, guys, if you had to get rid of one platform forever, and I mean forever, is it going to be TikTok or YouTube?
TikTok.
Damn, respect. Any plans on starting a TikTok? Because I will say, big snakes and TikTok do go well together. I'm just curious. Do you guys ever have ambitions or plan to start a TikTok account?
So I actually started one, and it hasn't done shit. No matter the hashtags, no matter the tags on people. And I used to have a personal TikTok that did very well, and I just shut it down because I just got sick of it. And so I tried starting up a DnT one with the snakes and everything like that, and it never took off. Our Instagram has flourished in a matter of time, but Facebook, but nothing on TikTok.
Yeah, I mean, listen, it's an algorithm thing, right? And at the end of the day, there is like, for instance, I could tell you with Instagram, there is a certain time in your area where you should post. You just got to find out what that time is, like
11 a.m. to p.m.
Right. So that's your time, right? For me, it's like it's either 9 a.m. to 12 or 9 a.m. to 11 or 5 o'clock to 7 o'clock. Those are like from what I've seen that work. But with TikTok, it's the same thing, but it's like I just already did all this with Instagram. Now I got to do this again with TikTok, and it just worked. And I could tell you right now, the ones killing it at TikTok are the ones who got on the ball in the beginning and fucking, like, I would say shout to the homie Andy Gabbs. Andy Gabbs is like, I'm not gonna say he's really nobody in the reptile game, but he's more low key and he knows some people. But he started a TikTok when it first started and he fucking blew up. Like, he has like over 200K, I forget, but like he was one of those people on that TikTok up and coming where now if you start it, it's going to be a grind. You got to find out the algorithm, and it's like you got to put up with all this fucking bullshit dancing. And I got so sick of just having to click on the app and going to post. I had to watch 4 people's videos, and I'm like, fucking, I don't want to see any of this. Like, it's like
the same song replaying like 10 times before you can get to something good.
Corny, like but I get it that it's for the kids, like it's the kids thing, and but when I see an adult doing it, and I'm just like, fuck, dude, like, oh man. Anyways, at the end of the day, guys, you guys killed all the hot seat questions. Congratulations, you guys are done. But at the end of the day, this was an amazing episode. I want to say you had so much support. I'm pretty sure we raised over $500 in USARK super chat. I will get the actual total account after this show. I will go do a special shout out on my stories. Hopefully that would influence other podcast shows to get people to want to donate to USARK and get the ball rolling, man. Because listen, it all starts with us. We're the ones that are putting this shit out there. And yeah, man, listen, keep doing what you guys are doing. Keep the people you have in your circle. Keep that fire, most importantly. And Dax, keep her, period. That's it. That's all I got.
She's not going anywhere. So
if he ever does anything wrong, MJ, I'll let you know and you can scream at him.
Shoot, yeah, please shoot that. Oh, by the way, speaking of shooting, What's the deal with that Halmahera male? I mean, why is it with you? What's the plan? How much? Let's talk.
we can talk after if you want.
Okay, because listen, I got one of the hottest, and I'm Stephen Cush, the scrub king himself, will back me up. I have one of the hottest female Halmahera scrubs that has no male, and I don't know. We'll talk about it, I guess, after this.
Yeah, we can talk.
But listen, guys, what do you have to say to everyone supporting you, everyone on the Retic community rooting for DnT to kill in this shit? What do you have to say to all your supporters out there?
Got to say the biggest thing is thank you. Bigger and better things are coming. So, we'll just be patient, but we'll be growing a lot faster. So
there you go. Guys, thank you so much for being a part of this. Like I said, you are setting a great example. You brought a fire back instilled in me with these Retics, which I needed, like I was tired of just being a downer about Retics for the last, I don't know how many episodes. But I feel good now. I feel good after seeing the people in the comments that fuck Retics doing the right way. Dude, you guys are in a good place. And you guys got the trap support. So all around, you guys are in a good place.
Thank you.
Thank you. We appreciate it.
Listen, have a good rest of your night. Thank you so much for fucking with the trap. And I'll talk to you guys soon. But DnT Retics, ladies and gentlemen.
Thank you.
Fuck yeah. I will talk to you guys soon. Thank you so much. Okay.
Thanks.
Wow. What a couple. Texas, you guys are killing it. Retic community, guys, Chris, Sean, Bill Stiegel, wow, anyone, Jake, dude, anyone, Hannah Banana, all you guys that dropped down a super chat, thank you so much. Very inspiring. I'm telling you right now. I mean, I've had some channels go pretty crazy in the super chat, but this right here was nuts. Thank you so much. You guys are amazing. Guys, at the end of the day, we're all in this together. This is a great example on if you're going to work with the species that a lot of people failed at, you got to do things the right way by surrounding yourself with the people who are doing it right, just like these two are doing. So thank you so much for tapping in. Before you guys dip out, if you guys came in here late, it's all good. You can catch it again, but hit that like button. It's not late. Never too late to hit the like button. Even if you hit the dislike and you want to change your mind, you could do that too. But guys, thank you so much. I appreciate all the support. I do want to say this week is going to be one for the books. We have somebody tapping in this Thursday night who is no stranger to NARBC shows. I have not seen him at a West Coast Pomona show or a Reptile Super show yet, but this man is well known at these NARBC shows. He kicks it with some very heavy players, but more importantly, man, this guy's ball python setup, he's just working with some sick shit, and he's working with some untapped shit. My boy Steve's Morphs is going to be tapping in with us this Thursday night. Trap Talk with MJ. 6 o'clock Pacific Standard Time. He is tapped in with the zebra gene. I am super pumped up about the zebra gene. The zebra gene is something I feel like it's at that pinnacle moment. I really, really believe it. We're going to talk more about it with my man Steve this Thursday night. So go down the link below. Set that reminder. Coolest reptile podcast in the world. And again, thank you to all my Retic family members out there. Thank you to all my big snake lovers. If you guys tapped into this episode, you guys tapped into a good one. But I'll catch you guys this Thursday night. Hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, notification bell, and I'll see you guys next week. This week. Shit. I'm out. Cheap.